Is this a game you're co-publishing? That is correct. So I'm the director of strategy for Off-Brand Games, and this is our first game that we've announced that we are publishing, and I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Yeah. It is Zetterburn, that's right. So I'm really excited about this, actually. The game looks fantastic, and today we're going to be doing a dev tournament, and I'm going to watch people kick each other's butts. Director of strategy, that's right. That is right. Going on 14 hours? Yeah. Please don't turn into EA or Bethesda. We absolutely will not. I would implode before I allowed that to happen. You're working with Off-Brand? Yeah, they actually hired me on as the director of strategy. I talked to a number of different other publishers, and when I talked to those different publishers, I gave each of them a test. The Off-Brand Games, my test for them was give me a contract as if you were publishing Heartbound. And they gave me that contract, and I said I would change all this stuff within about a day, sent it back to them, and they changed everything that I would want to change. And that is effectively the standard for our contracts now, going forward. It's basically the boilerplate that we've seen with every single other person that we've interacted with. And it made me really happy, man. Because one of the biggest things on there that I never want to ever happen is to have the IP of the developer go to the publisher. That should never happen. So instead it was changed, and in that contract it was changed to a license agreement, which is incredibly important to me. It's one of the reasons that I signed on with them, and that's why I'm the director of strategy for them now, is to ensure that we get benefit and the developers get benefit, and nobody gets screwed in the long term. That is incredibly, incredibly important to me. Do you have any games besides Rivals? Yeah, dude, I've been on Steam for like 16 years. Your passion is so infectious. I care a lot about things. I can't talk about the monetization, so I can't tell you if it's going to be free to play or anything like that. We could show off the game, though. It'd be fun. I'm really glad that it's leaked my local host in the bottom right. It's quite funny. No, it's just localhost. It's just 127.001. It's just funny, dude. Oh no. Localhost. Late stream? Well, I mean, I've been going for 14 hours already. I was waiting for this today. And I'm really excited for it, so. Mostly because, like, I get to watch people that are way better at me than me at this game. Way better. Okay, join public lobby. Which lobby am I joining? One sec. I have been invited to join this game. Let's see if it works. We're doing it over the Steam invite thing right now. You accepted an invitation to play Rivals 2. And it looks like I'm now in the game. Yeah, it might be that my name is too long and it's showing dots for it. Likely. They're gonna try queuing now. Okay, I'm gonna call Dan real fast. Dan is the creator of Rivals of Either. So I'm gonna call him up real fast. We're gonna have him on. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hey. I think chat can hear you. Can you guys hear him? Yes?
Can you hear me?
Should be able to. Let me know if the music is too loud. Music's intense.
Do you want my video too, or do you not?
I could do live video. I'd have to put you in the bottom left corner and like, cut it all out and everything, but I don't think we need it.
On Discord?
Let me
put it on
see.
if you want it, but you don't have to. You don't have to use it. It's up to you.
Should be good. See if we can. Tiny bit too loud, the music is? Alright. It's gonna take me a minute to get all the settings and everything set up. Oh god, I can't change it in the screen. So what's up, dude?
How's it going? Good.
It's going really good. I'm gonna turn the game down a little bit using volume mixer real fast.
Yeah, that's how we turn it down.
How's that, chat? That better? Docs versus Gabo.
Yeah, we got a backer, Docs versus a dev.
Dude, look at that skin. He's a basketball, or he's a soccer ball, rather. That's hilarious. See, this is the thing that's wild to me, is like, I was trying to play Claren. That was like one of my first matches, because it reminded me so much of other characters, and it's just easier for me to get used to the game on. But this dude's just infinitely better than me.
Yeah, there's a pretty good gap. Just like any platform fighter, it's like when you first start playing compared to someone who's really good, you're like, oh god.
Yeah, I learned how to like parry with Claren, and that was it. That was like the first thing I learned.
Though? Her counter, her down B, or the actual parry?
The down. Yeah, the down B.
I still love that.
Where it's like the big radius. You get like the huge electrical radius with it.
Yeah. That move was fun because every character in Rivals 1 has like some kind of stage control, so we gave Claren like the opposite. Like that move just beat all of the.
What can Crag do with the ball after he throws it like that? Can he actually?
Yeah, you can pick it up again, but the big thing is like any person can attack it, and when you attack it, it sends shards in the direction of the attack.
Interesting.
So Crag is good at that because he has a lot of different angles he can do, but like other characters can use it against Crag if you meet him.
So it becomes like a zone denial for anyone. That's really interesting. I like that.
Yeah, and we try to do that on all the characters, especially like as we're going into Rivals 2. Like anytime a character has like a unique mechanic, we want it if you can use it against them. That's really exciting to us. So even Fleet, like she puts a tornado on you, but if you hit her before it's ending, then you transfer it to her, and then you can like combo her with it. So we try to add like that kind of counterplay.
There, I upped Dan's volume and then I turned the game down. Is that better for you guys? Do we have good audio now? Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, it's gonna take a little minute to get everything situated. So tell me about these people who are playing right now. Is this all backers for the game? Is this like more developers for the game? Because you said it was a backer skin for that.
Yeah. Well, first, thanks for having us on your stream because this is awesome. But
absolutely.
Yeah. So this is like a monthly tournament that we do. That's usually just for the Kickstarter backers to watch. Like we kind of share an unlisted YouTube stream the day of. And this tournament, we were running it as just devs once a month, but in the Kickstarter, we gave out, I think it was like 8 tickets to this. Mm-hmm. So like for like super backers, we called them. So those 8 people were also able to enter. So now we have developers versus super backers is kind of the bracket. So Docs is one of those backers who donated as a super backer, and then Gabo is Gabe. From our team, who's one of the artists who I might have even did the soccer, or no, I think Jamie did soccer tag, but Gabe does a lot of skins on the game.
That's awesome, actually. So, like, how long have you guys been running these tournaments like this with the community that way?
With the community since the Kickstarter, so, or like a month or two after. I think the first one would have been February, was the first one.
February of this year?
Yeah, of this year. And then before that, the dev tournaments had gone for like 2 years. And if you find SBS's challenge, his account, you can actually like see all the dev brackets and people have like, we have like the seeding, right? So you can tell like which developers are the best amongst.
Oh, dude, that's sick. That's actually awesome.
I think I'm number 4. I think Jamie passed me. He's a Crag main who's really good, just like Gabe. And then SBS and Trevor are 1 and 2 among the developers.
I think for me, that's one of the nicest things is like, as a dev, is when someone plays my game and they're just better than me at it. You know, like I remember when I first launched our arcade game, like our first arcade game, Champions of Breakfast, and like the first player that hit integer cap on score. The dude played the game for like 6 hours straight without getting hit. I was just like, that's ridiculous, man. Like completely insane behavior. And it's just, something about that is so nice when you just have a player finally surpass you and you're like, that's it. You know, that's it. They're the one. This is who I made the game for, you know?
So you're saying you felt good. You felt pride that someone was able to pass you. I feel mine's a mixed emotion. I feel pride and frustration that I'm no longer the best because it happens very fast for me. Like Rivals 1, but as soon as it came out early access, which is within a day, I was no longer the best, and I was like, man, I'm mad. But
I mean, I feel like the solution to that is just to get good. You know, I think that's.
I'm trying. I've tried on Rivals too. I'm like any mechanic that we're putting in. It's like you know, obviously like we want to balance it to be the best game it can be, but it's like I'm willing to like learn stuff that I didn't know about before, you know, working on Rivals. Because yeah, I'm trying to get good. I'm trying to grind it.
Have you ever seen any like weird combos that players have that you didn't even expect, that weren't anticipated?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Rivals 1 when it first came out, like Frag was a big one because people were just abusing the pillar. They would just like pull you off the top of the stage. They would pull you and then combo you off the top, which I knew it was good, but like I guess I didn't. Me and my friends, like we didn't play that much cheese, so there was a lot of stuff I found out when Rivals 1 launched. But Rivals 2, we do have like, you know, the dev team's larger and we're practicing, and we have done like some closed beta testing as well, so you get a lot more data to get that stuff. But yeah, there's all kinds of people are just a lot more play to win than me, I guess. I play yeah, not as hardcore.
No, that's cool though, man. Like I dig that, honestly. It's always a really nice thing when you've made a system that's complex enough that players can find things and you're like, how did you just do that? Like I've never seen someone play that way. That's ridiculous. You know, like I think he's actually trying to do that. There's Craig's trying to throw him off the top using the pillar.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the combo here, it feels a little better. So one of the best things to do off the pillar in Rivals 2 is if you grab them and then you do special pummel, you can toss them off the top. But I don't mind that as bad because the special pummel, the opponent can break it if they know it's coming.
So they can actually counterplay it. That's good.
Yeah, they just have to press B, right? But like in Rivals 1, if it's guaranteed, that's when it feels bad.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things for me is like I don't like loss of control of your character unless there's counterplay. And it's like, I screwed up there. There should never be a time where it's like, oh, there's nothing I can do. There's always like I could have played that better. I could have done something, you know, different. I could notice the animation or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good point you bring
combo.
up.
Look at that.
Because I've noticed over the years, even in a game like League of Legends, is like a lot of the hard CC, the stuff that lasts a while, they've been moving it off of like just click, right? Like a lot of CC is all skill shots now. Because I think a lot of people agree with you where they just don't like, you know, a hard CC with no counterplay.
Oh yeah, like a lot of the stuns, they moved them off of targeted stuns and they're now like skill shots, you know, things like that. I remember when they started doing that because it was just like, Tarek walks up and you die, right?
Those are the characters I played though. That's what I liked. I like that kind of.
You just like to click dead, you know? Of course you like to click dead when it's the other guy, you know, when it's not you.
Yeah, but it's your time to get to that point, right? Like you had to like play a very specific way, and then you get to like delete people.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that. Yeah, no, I used to play. I played League way too much, man. Like I feel that 100%.
You remember what was the player who made Tarek Top popular? Do you remember that? Because I was like watching YouTube at that time, and I definitely just followed. I remember I just followed his build like to the T, and I thought it was hilarious.
I remember I started doing it because Riven was top all the time, and you just do Tarek into Riven would just die, and like it was hilarious, dude.
I'm down. Yeah, good. We're similar souls when it comes to.
Yeah, I was a support main, so yeah, I was a support main for a really long time. So going Tarek top just was hilarious. And then I remember Tarek jungle was the thing for a little while. I don't know if it is anymore. I stopped playing League years ago. I love myself now, you know.
Yeah, he's completely different. I don't know anymore either.
Yeah, dude, it's so much faster than I anticipated as well. I think it's the thing that's getting me about this and this is all on servers, right?
Yeah. So these are all running on PlayFab servers is what we're currently building on. We have been experimenting with kind of like different server options as well. So depending on the next beta, we might be testing out some other providers because to fix some of the lag that we were seeing last beta.
That counter.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for like when server-based multiplayer works, like, and you know you have servers close to you. It feels so good because it's like. Your connection is always stable as long as, you know, there isn't anything interfering with you in the server. So like, even if your opponents are like having all kinds of issues, like you can have a consistent experience, which is cool.
I think it's something that's super important is because I know there's going to be a lot of people that are worried about server infrastructure. They're going to be worried about performance. They're going to be worried about timing based on different parts of the world. But, you know, have you guys run into any issues with regional gameplay or anything like that using the server infrastructure at all? Because that's always going to be something that people are worried about. They always want to know.
Yeah, so like I said, this build that we're running is currently on PlayFab, and like, you know, they offer so many regions, and there's even more that you can get through because, you know, PlayFab is backed by Microsoft now, so like Azure, right? Like you can basically get to all the regions through there with just a little more work. But we are looking into another provider that we've been testing with where they have way more regions just out the gate. So I think that can help us, right? Like some places where people backed and didn't have regions that close. Our goal is to have a beta where, you know, there are regions closer to you. And then, yeah, just working on, we had some routing issues where players, like their packets were getting sent all over. So even though you were close, you had a lot of ping to like a region right next to you. So that kind of stuff is tech we're working through. And then in terms of the user experience, yeah, we just want to make sure that like, ideally people get good matches, right? So like in online queues, you can just kind of, if you want, you can just focus on, I only want to play on the East Coast server because that's what's close to me, and you can queue up in matchmaking and it will only match you with people who are playing on East Coast. So that's a benefit over Rivals 1 where, you know, if you were playing bronze, for example, it was kind of like, well, there's only so many bronze people online, so you're going to get whoever we can give you.
Yeah, and I believe Rivals 1 was peer-to-peer, right?
Yep. Yeah, it was peer-to-peer. It was delay-based for most of its lifetime until 2020. And then we got rollback working, and we just have rollback in like 1v1. So anything above 2 players in Rivals 1 is still like a delay-based peer-to-peer connection.
That's awesome, actually. Like moving over to a server infrastructure is always like really interesting, and I think that even after playing it myself, because I played it a little bit and I'm terrible, right? Because I need to get good. In fact, in order to get good, I now have a GameCube controller, so I can start playing this all the time and not be shit, right?
So let's go.
I want to start playing for realsies now. I gotta brush off all the rust, man. But like, that's always the interesting thing is like playing something like that. You expect there to be some kind of latency, and there just wasn't. And I was like, all right. Now we're talking, right? Because it felt like, even though we were connected to a server, it felt like I was sitting next to someone playing it right there on the couch, which was the important thing to me. That always is important to me. You guys have any questions, chat? Anybody? You can ask whatever you want. I'll read it from chat. Is the Kickstarter still open? Can people still back that?
So the Kickstarter is over, but we do have a late backer through Pledge Manager. So if you just search like Rivals 2 late backer on Google, you should come up to our Pledge Manager. And that, most of the things are down now, so you can't get like any physicals or anything like that. But all like the digital backing is still in. So if you want to get beta access late, so let's say the next beta is next weekend, starts next Friday, you can still purchase, it's called the Ethereum Hero, and that gets you beta access, and you'll get a key, you know, after you purchase that. So that's like the main thing, is that beta is still available. You can still play it and try out the game before it launches.
Did he just tusk slap that dude? It wasn't even a tusk. It was just.
It was the trunk.
Trunk, dude.
Yeah.
He grabbed it. He was like slap with the little trunk. That's insane. What a disrespect move.
That's the pummel, and I love, so Katie on our team who animated Loxodon, what she does for a lot of the pummels is she'll give us like 2 or 3 ideas, just like completely different ideas, right? Like maybe a tusk, maybe a trunk. And as soon as we saw that trunk one, we were like, oh, this has got to be it.
Dude, that save was nuts.
Yeah, it's really recovery on both characters. So Jamie here is he is the dev who passed me during the dev tournaments. So our best Krag among our team, and Evil Nardwar is a super backer, I believe, or we do have a couple off-brand and as well. So I don't know.
Oh wow! Look at that save, Jesus! He's so close.
So right now I'm watching your stream for the gameplay, so I probably won't be able to do too much on moment to moment because I'm delayed. But
no worries.
If there's anything you see that you want to ask about, you can ask it, and by then I should probably have seen it.
He just trunk slapped him again, dude. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's just so much disrespect, right?
Yeah, but for people who are fans of platform cutters, that trunk slap was a perfect example of how our pummel system works. So we don't actually allow chain grabs where you can just grab someone without doing anything unless you pummel. And that pummel is always a break chance, right? Like if Jamie had hit A and he would have gotten out of the pummel, but because he didn't and he got pummeled, that allows you to re-grab and basically do a chain grab like you would in, you know, Super Smash Bros. Melee or another.
So Loxodon looks like he's covered in some kind of a material now. What is that? Did he buff up somehow?
That's his Molten Charge. So he has this mechanic where the floor is lava, but because he's a lava character, it's the opposite. He wants to stand on lava, and you want to stand on it to get rid of it. And if he stands on 3 turned on lava pools, that's how he gets charged up. And then his down beat is like a big explosion.
Dude, is he gonna 3-stock him? Oh god.
I mean, it's not looking good for our hero because Jamie usually beats me, so I would be having a rough time in this match too.
It's gonna be real. That trunk slap gets me every single time. He said it like 4 times. It's the funniest thing on the planet to me, dude. Oh! Finally got him down. Finally got him down.
But 100% after, you know, on his last stack. So this is a huge hill.
That's a rough hill, yeah. And Luxodon still got 2 left. So Evil Nardwar is going to win it. Maybe. We'll see. That pillar is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if you're a connoisseur for puns, but the reason this skin is free because we had a good Kickstarter, and the reason we chose this skin is it already had been worked on, and his pillar is a stretch goal. So we made a stretch goal that everyone gets a free skin.
Am I a fan of puns? Oh yes.
So the stretch goal was this crag.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I love that, dude.
Yeah, I was really happy.
That was a hell of a match.
We got to add that in. I was like, wait a second, he has a stretched goal.
That's perfect. I love puns like that, man. It's always really good. Chat wants to know if there is native Linux support or Proton support for the game.
So I have tested it on Steam Deck. So it runs pretty well. I would say like the thing that we haven't gotten to 60 yet is like if you try to play online more than 2 people, it's definitely running under 60 FPS. But like 1v1, both locally and online, was feeling good on my Steam Deck. We aren't as limited as Rivals 1 when it comes to like Mac and Linux and stuff like that. Because we are in Unreal Engine 5, so we have more opportunity. We just don't have a lot of engineers, so we haven't been able to like focus on it being good. But we are planning like PC with like, you know, hopefully Steam Deck as well for launch. So like those will be 2 viable options you can play, and then we'll try to. I don't know if we don't have a timeline for like official Mac or Linux.
Yeah, makes sense. That's good. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's working at all means that there's a lot of potential there, because I know people are going to want to play it on Linux. It's surprising how much Linux has grown with Steam Deck. Like, even our sales are up to, like, about 5% of Heartbound is Linux now, which is astronomical. Like, way higher than it used to be.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Steam Deck has been, it's just a great device.
Yeah.
I love how when it was first announced, people were like, oh, it's just like the Switch. And it's like, but yeah, like the Switch with your Steam library, like that alone sounds great.
He's so good with Luxodon. It's wild.
Yeah, this is definitely a backer. I just we get to see their Steam names, so we don't have their tags. So I forget who this is, but this Luxodon has had some time in the lab.
Dude, I can't handle the trunk slap. It's just so funny to me every time, dude. There's something just hilarious about having this giant elephant man grab you and just slap you lightly with his trunk and then put you down.
Then he re-grabs you. He just adds insult to injury after that.
He just does it again, dude. It's so funny.
He also has a taunt where he like blows his trunk and it's like a trumpet noise, which I also love that too.
Oh, that's pretty good. So, what are some of the mechanics that you think you guys are most proud of from Rivals of Either to Rivals of Either 2? Some of the things that you've added to the combat here.
Yeah, so a couple of things, like, I think for people who followed Rivals, like,
subs.
They were surprised to see, like, shields and grabs and things like that. Like, some of that, like, I just didn't want to do in Rivals because of the pixel art and the style. And honestly, because when I started Rivals, it was just me and Flashy Goodness, the composer. So it's like a lot of the stuff I was thinking, I was like, well, I want to get this game out and then move on to, like, more projects. So, like, making a smaller scope. So, like, I always really wanted to try out, you know, shields and grabs with our mechanics, because I just think, like, when I play Smash, I love starting combos, you know, off a throw, because it's like you have all these options, you have all these different pathways, and like people can have different personalities, right? Like some people really like to start with down throw on their character, but other people like up throw. So I was excited to put those in, but then, you know, we added more on top of it with kind of like our specials. So we have like the special pummel, the special get up, and the ledge special, and those were because I just wanted like more opportunity to expand on the characters, really, like just being able to create even deeper movesets than Rivals 1. So adding grabs did that, but then we had opportunity to add even more. So my goal here is like I just want the movesets to be yeah, kind of as deep as possible for as much expression as we can get.
So, chat wanted to know, is it Rivals of Either or Rivals of Aether?
That's a great question. It's so funny because my last name is like, my parents say Fernaci, and like that's what I grew up saying. That's what I always said. I tried Fernace for a bit because that's like Italian. I thought it was cool, and I remember like I would say it in interviews, and people would be like, "Wait, is that your name?" But I was like, "All right, well, if I make a game, I'm gonna make sure it's like something easy to pronounce." And I did not do that.
No, you
I
didn't.
we chose. We all say Ether. I say Ether, and like our team says Ether, but a lot of people say Aether.
I've been saying Aether
So
for years.
because it is AE, but we were kind of inspired by like the Greek element, and I think that's why we say like ether, because we don't even do like a combined letter, like we have it separated because we didn't want people to have to like find that on their keyboard if they want to search for the game. So that's why it's like an A and an E that are like separate.
Well, that makes sense. Well, it looks like we're going to do a new match. Waiting for his message. You guys have any other questions? You can ask away. I will read them from chat.
So that was a 2-0 for that Jamie lost winner. So
that was rough, dude. That was a
rough
rough
match.
Like I said,
Trevor's the #1 dev. So if the devs are going to win the tournament, he's usually our main hope. But Jamie's been doing well too. Jamie's been getting to grand finals against Trevor a lot, even with these backers. So I think the backers have been leveling up.
So the next match is going to be best of 3. Winner's quarters is going to be Youngblood versus Toma.
Yeah, Youngblood is Trevor. That's his tag and also his last name. Which is like that's an insane last name to me. I remember when I met him, I was like, but what's your real last name?
Dude, that's how people treat me, because my middle name is Thor. And they're like, that can't be real. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Like my middle name.
Sick middle name. Yeah, that's sick.
I was born in a thunderstorm, so my parents made my middle name Thor, and then my brother was born in fall, so they made his Russell. And I was like, I think I made it well on that one.
That's sick. I like both of those. I like both. That's like lore, dude. That's awesome.
It's pretty funny. We also both have what is it? Like horror movie names. So my first name is Jason, like Jason Voorhees, and his is Damien, like Omen Child.
Oh man, that's pretty
sick good.
Too. So your parents they're horror movie fans.
I mean, yeah. When I was a kid, oh god, dude, when I was a kid, my mom had me watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and it messed me up so bad because I was like 7 or 8, right? And there's this scene where like the girl is like laying in the tub, and then the bottom of the tub falls out, and then she like falls into the ocean. There's like a shark in the ocean. That's probably why I hate the ocean now. And I didn't take a bath for like a month. Like they had to fight me to take a bath. So terrified, dude. I was like, nope. Scared the hell out of me. There's no way.
I feel like every kid has like that first horror movie that they saw a little too young. Like it never leaves. It never leaves. For me, it was like The Sixth Sense. I remember I saw that like when it came out when I was young, and I was like, man, that like still scared of some of the stuff in that.
You see dead people, dude?
It wasn't even that. It was like when he like goes into like the closet thing and they don't show anything. Yeah. I'm like, that's scarier than like anything else, because it's all just like your imagination.
Yeah, no, I super agree with that. Oh, Chucky? No, Chucky freaked me out. I don't like mannequins or dolls or any of that stuff. Chucky was kind of campy though at the same time, you know. It's a little bit weird. It's one of those things where it's like you want to laugh at it, but it's also kind of creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. My dad was a huge nerd, so we would watch like Gremlins and other movies like that growing up, and I was never like too scared of that stuff because I think I more thought it was funny than scary.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, that makes sense. 100% makes sense. Like Gremlins was like that for me. It was just funny. Yeah, I agree. Super funny. Barney and Friends, that's a straight up horror. How dare you bring such a thing up? That's got to scare everyone in chat, dude. Barney? No way. Ooh. So tell me about some of these maps, man. Like, I noticed that they're smaller, and it looks like they're more focused on, like, really quick, kind of, not even quick, but, like, they're more focused on keeping the players together so they have to be fighting. There's no getting away, right?
Yeah, they're all kind of pretty competitively balanced. Like, in Rivals 1, we had this idea of ether stages versus, like competitive basic stages we call them. So these are all, the basic stage variants. Ether stages is something we'd love to do, but we don't actually have it like mapped out on our schedule because it is a lot of work, especially with the way the game is built in like SnapNet. Basically, like everything has to be working well online to even, you know, be functional. So, but one way I've been approaching this game that's a little different from Rivals 1 is I'm kind of liking this idea of like there's basically 10 stages in the game, and rather than doing like for like the competitive portion of the game, so like when we do want to add new stages and stuff like that, I kind of want to like swap out stages, right? So like some people don't like Hyperborean Harbor, which I think is an awesome stage because it has some differences in it. So maybe in season 2 or whatever, year 2 of the game, that stage comes out, another stage goes in, but then you would still have the Hyperborean Harbor visual, right? By doing like a stage skin, right? So I'm thinking there will always be like 10 layouts, 10 competitive layouts, but it's not like it's going to be these 10 for the length of the game. We're going to like, based on feedback, based on what people are playing and what people are banning, we're going to be like updating the stages like through the length of the game.
That's interesting. So you're going to have like a banning system for stages?
Yeah, so our banning system is, you know, taken from Rivals, which is actually like taken from how high level people play Smash, where like the first game you kind of like strike stages to agree down to 1 in a competitive match, and then the next game the loser gets to, or the winner gets to ban 2 stages they don't want to play, and the other 8 are available. So all that logic, what we try to do in Rivals is like we actually bake it into the UI, because in Smash everyone just knows these rules and they know the stages and they like know how to do it. Whereas in Rivals, because we are built like a fighting game, we can actually like say, okay, now it's your turn to ban and it's your turn to pick. So we have that in Rivals 1, and we're building those menu systems for Rivals 2 online play as well.
Nice. That's really awesome. I think this Loxodon from Toma has actually got some work to do here, man. Youngblood's thinking about.
Yeah, cool. Toma is also one of the best Loxodons. Another backer who, they're all like 3 of them all play Loxodon. They're all insane. But Trevor doesn't even play Rano very much, but Trevor is good with every character.
Really?
Yeah, every character in Rivals.
So Trevor is Captain Youngblood?
Yeah, that's Trevor is Youngblood.
Is this the build for next week's beta? Chat wants to know.
Very close. Like some stuff is, a lot of some of the patch notes that we revealed on Twitter, like the crouch canceling and stuff, is already nerfed in here. But there'll probably be a couple more small balance changes before next Friday, but nothing major.
I just linked the bracket here in chat so you guys can see that. There you go. And we're watching Youngblood versus Toma right now. Because we only got to see 3 of the matches out of all the matches that are going on at the same time. It's quite a lot. Chat wants to know if recolors will be updated. When you say will recolors be updated, do you mean like more of them, or you have to be a little bit more context with that one? What about the modding community? Yeah, what about the modding community? Is there gonna be room for modders or anything like that for the game? Steam Workshop or anything like that? Yeah,
for sure. So our long-term goal is we know how important Steam Workshop was for Rivals 1. So for people who aren't familiar with the game, it launched in like 2015 on early access, but we added Workshop in, you know, I think it was 2018 or 2019, around then. And like every year after that was just, you know, better for the game in terms of the amount of people playing and like the, you know, amount of sales we were even getting. Like the post-Workshop is much better. So we understand that community is a big part of the identity of the game now, and kind of something that, honestly, if you're making a game like Smash, it's a lot harder to, you know, it'd be really hard for someone like Smash to support modding because of all the IP in there. Yep. But as a 3D game, we just haven't had time to like really get the tech. So we are already working towards, you know, what can we do with Workshop. But that's going to be like not a launch thing. That's like a year 2 or so feature that we're working towards. In terms of general modding, like we don't have plans to stop it unless you're ruining someone else's experience. You know, if you're doing stuff that's like breaking online or making it hard for other people to play or affecting their experience, like we're definitely going to be looking at that and preventing it. But if you're like just changing stuff on your machine and it doesn't affect anyone else, then we plan on like whatever you can do, because we're on Unreal 5, so I know people, you know, have tools for Unreal. We'd love to see that kind of stuff. That's awesome, actually. And yeah, it's one of the things I always talk to my community about, is that
You know, you're made or broken by your community. You know, and as long as you do well by them, you will do well.
Yeah, one thing that Rivals 1 has is custom colors, where you can just make your own colors even without Workshop. You can just go into the menu and like change your color palettes. So Rivals 2, we have, we initially said when we first announced the game that there's going to be no custom colors, right? We said like, we can't do this. We tried it. It's been miserable trying to get this working with our textures and 3D, etc. Eventually, we did get the actual character tech to work. So now, when you look at these palettes, like the Loxodon is blue, right? Like that is actually all done through code. Like just have a new color index and a designer can go in, like not even an artist can go in and set the different colors for what's able to change. So that was the first half of it. The second half is like all the UI and stuff that it would take to like get it in game, because not only are all the characters have different slots, but in Rivals 2 we've revealed we're doing skins. All the skins have different slots as well. So it's a huge lift to do custom colors, and it's something that we are going to work towards eventually, but it's not, again, just like Workshop, not going to be at launch, because we have like a lot of other core features to get done. So in order to kind of alleviate that, like we are going to have a lot of skins so people can have, you know, different ways they can express themselves, and we do want to add more palettes as well. Right now, the only thing for sure is that characters are going to have like 4 palettes for every skin, so default plus 3 different colors. But we'd love to expand that, especially before we can get, you know, real custom color support in the game.
Totally makes sense. That's awesome, dude. Custom colors are so cool. That's gonna be rad. Really, really rad.
Yeah, I love it. I've had some fun times at tournaments where, you know, somebody was like making custom colors or whatever, and I said that like I had made it. I just said the word it, and he was like, oh yeah, like I've made a bunch of custom colors on my machine too, and I was like, oh no, I made this game, Rivals V3. And he was like, oh, are you Dan?
That's really funny, actually. That match was close as hell, by the way. That was a super close match.
Was that game? Was that game 1 or 2? Did you notice for this one?
Oh, that was 1.
All right. Oh no, it's 2 because Trevor did win the first.
Oh wait,
one.
no, he did one. Yeah, no, it was 2. So it's 1-1 right now. They get the best 2 out of 3, right?
I think it is still 2 out of 3. So this is.
Yeah, I thought you meant 1 stock left, because it was one stock left, and he was at like 160%.
Yeah, I saw that the set was continuing, so I'm like, wait, that means Tomo with the big W.
Chad immediately wants to use custom colors to make their character just as eye bleed as possible. Fantastic.
So we've even thought about that as well. So in Rivals 1, there's a keyboard button you can hit to basically turn off someone's custom color, and it just goes back to default if it's like if they just made it ugly on purpose. And then yeah, if we get custom color stuff in Rivals 2, we know we need something similar, because people just try to make the character like, you know, just use all black and play on a dark stage. It's like, come on, you're not trying to like make something cool. You're just trying to like cheese the system at that point.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I like this environment a lot, actually. This environment is great.
Yeah, so this is Merchant Port. In Rivals 1, this is Arcane Stage.
The thing that got me is if you look down at the bottom, I've got my mouse on screen now. Is that geo actually moving, or is that just done with shaders for the water? Because it looks like it's actually raising and lowering.
Yeah, that's a shader.
That misplay.
Yeah, Trevor's running away with this one.
That was rough, dude. He just executed himself.
Almost got a crazy early KO though, charging the up strong. Toma did.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fish. So the fish do have like motion pass now. Initially, if you go look at some of the videos from earlier this year, even the fish are just like sitting there, or the shaders just like going over them. So there is a shader, and then there is some, you know, a couple objects having motion under there.
That's awesome. Yeah, environment detail is such a big thing for me, and like seeing all the love and care you guys put into this, and like even the big statue in the background. You know, love that.
Yeah. The statue is one of my favorite things, because in Rivals 1, it was one of the first stages I worked with another artist on, Johan, and he was like, oh, it's Arcane Stage, so he made a statue. So then the lore, I've literally written the lore around that statue existed, right? Because I was like, I didn't ask for an Arcane statue, he kind of just put it in, and now it's a big part of like the story going forward, is going to be like, why does he have a statue?
So speaking about the lore, Can you talk about how the lore is going to be implemented in the game in any way? I know some people were asking about this. A lot of people, they want to feel more attached to the characters. So what are the plans for that? Anything that you can reveal on that?
Yeah, we can a bit. So we talked about the story mode in Kickstarter. Right now, we did have to pause that, kind of just based on the money we've raised and like what we know, like what people are excited for. Like we knew we had to focus on just kind of getting the game out. So we are gonna still do a story mode, especially if the game does well, we're gonna immediately get a core team. I'm thinking around like 5 people who are like just building story mode. Um, and that's great because we already have like chapters of that kind of written, right? Like where the story is basically just going to continue right where Rivals One left off and just go through there.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, until that comes, there is still stuff we're doing. I think like our character trailers are trying to give you more background, right? So like each time we do a new character trailer in Rivals 2, we're trying to like peel back a little more of the curtain of like, where's this character from? What are they like? And then our voice lines, we have some stuff coming in over time. So like not just like we have taunts and victory lines that people have. We've also recorded for some of the characters, not all of them, like a couple lines where they say to other characters at the start. So it's not like every character has an interaction where it's like every character says like, "Oh, Zetterburn, you stole my shoes. I'm gonna get them back." But some characters have like a short line like that relates to the story, like something where maybe they ran into each other in the first game, or their elements have a funny tie-in. So yeah, the voice in like trailers is the main way we're doing it, building up to launch, and then I think a bespoke story mode is our plan post-launch.
That's pretty awesome, actually. I always loved little like call-outs between the characters if they have a rivalry or a friendship or things like that. It was always nice because it's something that's not really always expected, and it's like, oh, we got the cool secret line, and that always made me happy. Like I don't know, I used to play a lot of like Neo Geo fighting games like way back in the day, and any of those extra things like that was always really nice. Like my big thing that I played before this was actually Samurai Showdown. As funny as that is, love the hell out of Samurai Showdown.
Yeah,
Oh,
I never played Samurai Showdown, but I've worked with a guy who that was his favorite fighting game. So like the people who like Samurai Showdown are like hardcore.
I loved it, dude. It was so much fun. We had a cab in the office back when I worked at Blizzard, and I used to play it all the time during lunch breaks and stuff.
That's awesome.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be in this one. It's going to be Youngblood versus Evil Nardwuar. And this is the same kind of match, too. It's Rano and Loxodon again.
Yeah, so this was the Loxodon who put Jamie out of winners.
Yep.
And Trevor, he's got his work cut out for him.
Dude, that combo on Rano, the short range combos in Rano are just really devastating. So many hits, so fast.
Yeah,
Nice.
and right there we saw a little bit of the changes going in. So like the Evil Noir floor hug, which is when you hold down and you don't go anywhere. But because crouch canceling is more deliberate now, it was not as good as it was in the May beta, which is a request a lot of people asked for. They said, hey, crouch canceling's too good. Now you have to actually be fully crouching to get the benefits from it. So like on a quick hit like that, you go into knockdown when you floor hug, which is nowhere near as good as just going into flinch and hitting.
I love that Rano can create the bubble and then latch to the bubble. I think that's actually wild. There's so many different things you can set up like that. Because like, back when I used to play Smash, I played Ness, and just like all the different weird ways you can move around the arena were just so cool. And like, Rano really reminds me of that, of just being able to move in such strange ways and like set up a bubble, latch to the bubble, move around, that kind of stuff. And I think it's something that's just really cool. I see the same kind of stuff with Crag, with just like unique movement around the arena, being able to set up the pillars, do that kind of stuff. Just leads to a lot of like, not even just meta gameplay, but unique to your style meta gameplay.
Yeah, it's funny too, because the way some of these interactions are designed from the beginning, like we have an idea in our head of like, oh, we're gonna make a bubble and it's gonna have this interaction. Like Orcane's puddles like that, where like I kind of design different ways you can use it. But a lot of them get added over time, especially after people play it, because it starts with somebody says, wouldn't it be cool if? And we just add it and then we balance it after. We just say like, yeah, it would be cool if you could tug off of the bubble, like that'd be awesome. And then we add it and we see how broken it is. And sometimes it's fine. Other times you gotta like just nerf it a little bit, but
Dude,
yeah,
that
we followed
fake out, there was a fake out with a bubble there. So Captain Youngblood actually just used the bubble from off screen, and Loxodon got baited into using his rock against it.
Yeah, the bubble off stage is
That's
like
so good.
it became such a cool part of Rano in Rivals 1. Like people would just use it to protect themselves. And yeah, and like you said, use it off stage in different ways. Um, Stuff that we didn't intend, but I love seeing, you know, when I commentate tournaments.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Really, really good.
Oh, that was sick movement too, to dodge all blocks it onto options and then still hit the down air.
I'm predicting the next Smash game will have get up, ledge, get up mechanics. If this game pops off. Dude, I hope this game pops off. It's awesome as hell.
It's funny that they mentioned that, because that is the biggest thing now when I go back and play, you know, Smash, like Smash Ultimate or something, that I miss is like not being able to hit the B button in certain situations. Because like once you play Rivals 2 enough, it actually kind of feels like it was always there. You're like, oh wait, like this isn't. It just makes a lot of sense, because like I think Smash is already
check that out.
Context
So,
sensitive.
If you guys look at the arena just now, see how everybody's got one stock left? The whole environment just changed. So the environment is modifying itself based on the intensity of the fight. So the volcano's going off now, all the lighting just changed. Yeah, the whole environment changes when it's 1-to-1. And every environment's like that, right? Like every map?
Yep, every stage does it, but they're all pretty different. Some are like Hodojo and Aramata was some of our first ones, so it's subtle. It's like the sun just sets and the lighting changes. But this was one of our later ones, so this one's got some sick effects.
Yeah, it's sick.
Oh,
I
and
love
this is new for the next beta, massive. So before the June, every result went to this stage, Godai Delta. But now you go to the stage and it actually remembers the stock setting as well when you go to the result screen. So
Wow.
that was the dark sky, because they finished this match on last stock.
That's awesome.
Yeah, our tech artist Corey figured that out, and he also he had to go in and edit all the stages, because some of them people were like the results were colliding through, like, you know, like this platform. So he had to make a couple, you know, custom results areas, but it was such a cool task for us.
I always liked a moving platform, because you're like I know it's kind of weird because some people don't like them, but I actually like moving platforms and platform fighters like this. It just keeps the stage dynamic and weird, you know. There's a couple of other ones that were moving up and down as well. Really dig that. Dynamic environments are cool to me.
No, I love it too. I think like the big thing in a game like Smash is like some of the coolest stages like do have things that are like just a little too crazy if you're like trying to do competitive, but like if you take out parts of it, like this stage, it's a popular stage in PM. I think it was like Sonic's one, but like because it's consistent and you see it, even though it is like a weird arc, you can like play around it. You like know like, hey, it's gonna be rotating here, and you can make cool plays with it.
Looks like Nardwar's got him figured out this time. Oh, maybe? Maybe not. So what are those 3 green pips above Loxodon right now?
Yeah, so that's Rano's poison property, so his special moves are adding those. And then the opponent has to hit Rano to get rid of them one by one. And then the downside of being, it's called be poisoned. The downside is anytime you attack when you have any pips on you, it deals 1%. So you really want to get rid of it as quick as you can. It also disincentivizes you from just like swinging out attacks randomly when you're poisoned. You have to be like a little more thoughtful. And then the other benefit too is if you get put in the bubble, you stay in it longer the more pips you have.
Interesting. So the pips themselves, do you get 1% per pip, or is it just you just have 3
No,
on
just 1% while you have poison, but it takes longer to get rid of them, right? Because if you have 3, you have to hit them with 3 separate, you know, hitboxes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I dig that. Status effects like that don't result in like lol you're stunned is actually I really enjoy that. Poisons, things like that, damage stuff, and especially because it has counterplay, right? Where you have to modify the way that you're playing the game to remove that poison in the most effective way possible. That makes it way more interesting. Because now it's a skill-based thing. It's like, okay, I'm poisoned. How do I handle this? I need to modify my playstyle, make sure I'm not spamming abilities, make sure that I'm actually using them effectively. Wow. He just fell right off the map.
Yeah, that was because he already wall jumped, so then he tried to dash back into it. So here you can see the forest result screen as well, which is brand new.
That's awesome.
For this stream. But yeah, no, I agree with you completely on like the mechanics, because like one of the nice things is like because we do approach it from a fighting game, and we, you know, Trevor and I fly to tournaments, we're watching the high level. When we are thinking of mechanics, like we do think about like, okay, what is this going to look like when you get down to like the best players in the world using it. Like, how are they going to abuse it?
Yeah.
And we try to make sure like the counterplay is like fun at that level, because like we don't want it to like deteriorate into like, yeah, people are just going for the consistent thing over and over. And if that does happen, then we're there to like patch it.
Oh, definitely. And it's kind of funny because I've seen a lot of Rano and Loxodon so far, and I want to see the rest of the characters.
I know. Yeah. I feel bad because all the super backers, like I said, there's 3 of them who have like really good Loxodons.
Hmm.
But I think we should see other characters. Trevor is interesting because like I said, he can play every character. So some dev tournaments he'll just play one character the whole bracket, but it's someone different than the previous month. And other times he will jump around based on who he's playing and what he's feeling.
Which character would you say is your main? Which is the one you like the most?
In Rivals 2, I played Maple, which is funny because I never really played her in Rivals 1. I was like Frag mostly. I played a lot of characters in Rivals 1. Orcane, I played in Rivals 1. I like Maple a lot. I feel like in this engine she feels good and she's really strong, and like anytime I lose, it's a good spot to be where you lose, and I never blame my character. I'm always like, I'm just not that good yet. I feel like Maple she could be number 1 easily right now. The balance is definitely like in flux, so it's hard to say who's like the 1, 2, 3, but I think Maple could be the best. So she's been my main since she got added to the game.
She's super fast. I think that was the thing, is like when I was like watching Brian play her before, and she's just wicked fast, man. Like the moveset is just so quick, and the skill cap on that is just going to be as high as, well, as you can see the frame rate. Like, that's the thing you got me about it. Oh,
as you tried it out, who have you gravitated towards from the 8 characters we have in this build?
Claren, most definitely. If that is the proper way to say the name. Yeah, Claren, absolutely for me. And I think it's familiar swordsman style, really enjoyed it. And the counter just felt so good. That was the thing about it, is like I can pop that counter at any time. If I can see the animation on the opponent, that was the first thing that I gravitated towards. It was like I can parry and I can counter really, really well with this. Felt great. Felt really, really good for me. Because I really like characters that have a parry. I really like characters that have a counter, because I like that counterplay of like, I can see your animation. I know it's coming and I can stop that. Always feels good to me.
Yeah, that's hype. Yeah, I think I think we have a couple good starting characters now. I think like Loxodon being like more accessible is great for us, because like in Rivals 1 it was kind of like Zetterburn and Crag were like good starting characters, but everyone else got like a little weird. I think like Loxodon now has stepped in there. He's a good starting character if you haven't played much Rivals. And I honestly think Claren is pretty accessible as well. Like if you played any sword fighters in any other Smash game, I think she feels pretty good, like just out the gate, and then there's more stuff you can add.
Yeah, one of the things that I actually noticed that was kind of funny was being able to just throw yourself on the ground and use your get up special as well. I don't remember that being in any other game I've played, which is weird. Because like,
so the input we did, I'll have to give credit. We did steal that from Nickelodeon. Like they had it where when you taunt in the ground, you go into tumble. And like we weren't even trying to steal it, but what happened was we have a get up attack that you can only do out of get up. So like we needed a way to put yourself in knockdown. So when we saw like Nickelodeon had done that, we're like, oh yeah, like we're not using the taunt button in the air. Let's just like try that as well. Like we just wanted to try it. And then once we had it in, we're like, oh, well, yeah, this makes so much sense. So
they're looking to see if the server lobby has good ping or not on this one.
Yeah, this looks like so this goes down to like, is the match fair?
Yeah.
So look, 5 versus 80, right? That means like it's very close to Kumi and very far from Pikmin. So depending on the amount of servers you have available, like sometimes you might have to play like this depending on where people are located. The other option is you could go for, something where you're both a little bit further away. So you're both at like, 50 or 60 or even 70. So at least it's even. But what we're working on right now, where we're talking about migrating, off of PlayFab, one of the benefits is way more regions. So like you'd have an opportunity to find something that's more of a midway point between these two players, ideally.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think it's good that that's listed right on the screen too, showing the other player like, hey, this person is at a disadvantage, you're at an advantage, or you're at a disadvantage. So there's no guesswork, right? I've noticed a lot of other games, sometimes they will hide that kind of ping. They won't show like the connection speed for some people. And I actually really like that, especially inside of a fighting environment like this, because it makes more sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think like if you're making a big enough game, like I understand why some games do hide it because it's like the psychology of it affecting you when it might not matter. But for a fighting game, when it's 1v1, like we wanted to make sure it's as obvious as possible. Like we want to show you where the server is, what your ping is, so you can try to get the best match available with like the servers that we have exposed.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Makes complete sense. They're going to try a new lobby, it looks like. And I'm getting the invite for
Yeah,
that now. I'll need a
I
double
would think
invite.
I would think they want to try regular central. I don't know where Kumi's located, but we'll see what they try.
Yeah, because that disparity between 5 and 80, that could be the match, right? And especially when they're doing like a tournament. So it does make sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. It basically means one player is playing. 80 is like still playable online. Once you get above 100, like the rollbacks start getting where it's going to impact for sure. But like 80 is definitely playable, but that's an online playing. Whereas the 5, that's local. You're playing local at 5 at 5 ping. It's like no delay, no rollbacks. You're just chilling.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, they're trying a central server now, so they're switching
Cool.
over the servers. I'm really happy, that you guys are going to the server based approach too, because peer to peer is always one of those things where it's just so dicey, especially if there's brokering servers or no brokering servers, people's IP addresses. If there's no brokering servers, and if there are brokering servers, you're just paying anyway, So it's just like the experience is just so much worse when you're dealing with peer to peer than if you're dealing with actual servers. And it's nice to be able to reveal all that information where it's like this. Like now we can see their ping. It's 45 to 58. That's way more fair of a match than 50 to 80 or 5 to 80.
This is great. This is like a great middle point. Neither person had to go up like too high. It's not like you're both connecting to like
Yeah.
somewhere crazy.
They're moving around to test now to make sure that it's the same. And yeah, it's 49 to 61. That's way less disparity.
Yeah,
that's good.
Awesome.
Just punching each other.
Yeah, like once you get close enough, it basically ends up being identical because it's like full frames, right? So like 16 millisecond jumps to have like an actual feelable difference. So if you're within 16, like it could basically feel identical to both players.
Chat wants to know if the servers are only going to be for NA.
No, even in the betas. So if you've played any of the Kickstarter betas or seen them go up, we have other servers as well. So we've had EU, I believe we have Australia as well. And then, like I said, one of the things we're looking into for this beta is if we can pull it off is like a new provider that has even more regions, like including like South America options. So hopefully we can get that, and yeah, we'll basically keep expanding as much as we can. So if this provider adds any new options that we're able to use, then we would expand to those regions too.
Chat wants to know if there's going to be a ferret fighter. Ferret character?
Oh, we've talked ever since you came on Off-Brand. Jamie and Gabe, our two cosmetic artists, are like, wait a second, we do a skin for Maple?
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
I don't want to spoil anything, but they've been talking, so maybe we'll have something to show you soon, bro.
Dude, I dig that. Maple is so fast. Like, look at the animation cancels in Maple. It's just so quick. What is that plant? Tell me about that plant.
That one right there is Terry. So they all have names. It's Lily is the one from Rivals 1 where you plant it right there on the ground, and it just attacks when someone gets near it, or it will wrap if you throw somebody in it and they're marked. Terry is the one you plant on the ledge. His name is Terry because you tether to him. So you can tether, you can recover back to him. And then Poppy is the third plant we added that's new, and she, if you special pummel, you put Poppy on someone, and then if you throw a seed at her, she pops. And the cool thing is you put it on her back, so when she pops, you basically send them the opposite direction that they were facing because the explosion's behind them. So that means you can like hit them with a seed and knock them back into you, which is pretty good, pretty useful.
Nice. It's 2-2 now. Pigmon versus Kumi. Oh. Yeah.
I've seen both these players do really well in the dev ticket tournaments, so they're both super backers. And Pigman has a good Loxodon and a good Clarin. And Kumi, I think I've only seen play Maple.
So what does the percentage mean? The percentage is actually how much damage the character is taken. As it gets higher, they get knocked back farther and farther, and it makes it easier for you to just knock them out of the map, right? So, like, higher percentages means you're in a much more precarious place.
Yep. Especially the lighter you are, the more precarious it gets.
Yeah. At certain percentages, you just get, you know, launched.
Yeah, like Crag at 100, like you can die, but it's, you know, it's harder. But like both these characters, Maple and Claren, you're at 100, like you need to be prepared to not get hit by something that's gonna
definitely.
kill you.
Does it have a parry? So Claren has a parry. I don't know what other characters have a parry. Are there any other ones?
Yeah, so Claren has the only one that's like a special move. Hers is like the down B, and it's like we call it a counter, because every character does. In Rivals 1, there was only parry, there was no shield. In Rivals 2, every character has parry. That was Maple's. And it's shield plus B. There's also like a button for it if you just want to use it. And the difference is in Rivals 2, it's a lot slower. So in Rivals 1, it was the main defense, and in Rivals 2, it's just like an extra, kind of an extra counter that every character can do. And even Claren still has one, but you know, it doesn't put out the shield or anything like that.
Pikmon's in such a rough spot right now, dude. Full stock down.
Yeah.
Almost same percent.
Although I will say any platform fighter with combos, you're still scared as Kumi situation here. Because if you get your stock taken out quick, then it's like one big combo and you could so here we go, one big combo and you could be in a world of hurt.
And for those who are just tuning in, the whole environment just changed because it's 1-to-1 stocks now. So if it's 1-to-1, down to 1-to-1 on both sides, the entire environment will change. It's just rad. I love that, dude. Like, I remember the first time I saw that when we were playing against each other at the office, and it's just awesome as hell. Yeah, no, I love it, man. That kind of stuff is just cool. Yeah, sudden death. When it gets to sudden death match, like, it's just neat. And yeah, you're right. Oh, taken out.
Kumi able to clutch it, but did you see how close that
got? Close.
70%. That could be a tipper combo, and that could be the end. So.
Yep, because at 70%, you're still going to be able to be launched off the map. You could absolutely do that and still pull it back because the combos.
That's what I love about Melee and a lot of the games that Rivals is kind of inspired by that have these good punish games is like you're never really out, right? Like the more neutral based the game is, the more it feels like a lead is going to be really hard to, you know, counteract because it's like how many interactions do you have to win in a row to bring this back?
Definitely.
Like the more combo heavy it is, like the more it's like, well, I am down, but if I just make a couple right choices in a row, you know, like 5 really good choices in a row, like you could, you know, bring it back and win the match.
Yeah, hell yeah. Did you guys make this? So I am the director of strategy for Off-Brand Games. We're actually co-publishing this, which is Rivals 2. And then Dan here made it.
I'm like the
big
studio
Dan.
lead. The studio lead on Rivals 2. Rivals 1 was a much smaller team. Like that team was always under 10. This one's around like 20 to 25 people, depending on like what we're working on at the time. So yeah, I'm basically leading the team for this one.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that's really interesting to me is how have you felt going from a team of 10 to a team of 20? Because there's like I've done that, and I'm interested in seeing how you've handled it and how you feel you've handled it and what things you've learned along the way for that. Because increasing team size is difficult.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Like I went from like Rivals 1, so the early development was just me and Flashy Goodness. So I went from like basically solo dev. You know, I'm not musically or sound gifted, so Flashy was handling everything with that, and he was doing his website and a bunch of other stuff. So we were like a 2-person team, right? And then I went from that to Rivals, where I was leading, you know, a 5-6-person team. Rivals 2 is completely different because I'm just a director, right? It's funny because I'm like time to work on games, and I open up Google Docs, right? Or I open up Trello. Like those are. I'm not coding anything. I'm not making any 3D models. And the craziest thing of Rivals 2 is I did some 3D work in school, but a lot of the 3D that's in this game is well beyond my ability. So
sure.
I'm directing a lot of skills that like I'm not gifted in, whereas in Rivals, like, you know, I kind of built out the sprites and I knew the sizes, so it was a lot easier to, you know, get an artist to make characters because I kind of knew all the attacks and everything like that. So this game has been a big learning curve of like, how do you direct people in skills that you're not good at? And like the big thing for us is just like listening, right? At the beginning, listening to like, you know, what your team is saying and what their needs are. And then, it's kind of just coming up with solutions that, you know, you keep the team happy, but like we're not able to do everything, right? So at the end of the day, like we do have to make concessions. So it's been a learning process, but it is funny when I think like I'm gonna go work on games, and then I do absolutely nothing on like the actual, like our whole team is working on the game, and I'm like directing that process.
I think that's the thing that I learned pretty quickly too. Is like I'm not good at music either. I do programming and design and art, and I do writing, right? So like I do basically everything except for music. I just can't do it. I'm just terrible at it. So when I hired on Stein, our musician, I had such difficulty communicating with him about like how I want something to feel, and we kind of agreed on this format where it's like, these are the characters involved, this is what the room looks like, and I need these emotions. And then like, and that just kind of went through from there. And I know every project's completely different, but it's always interesting communicating with people that in a skill set that you're lacking, right? And I know I'm never going to be super great at music, but it's always going to be one of those things where like I have to communicate with people that are doing that to make sure that the game is in the best possible spot. So I get that, really get that.
Yeah, I think, music's tough, but I think if you're working with a good composer, like, you can kind of lean on them to trust them. I think sound and sound effects get even harder because, like, that does affect game feel, but it's like you're trying to, like, where you're like, okay, well, I can't make the sound effect myself, but I know it needs to be, tweaked, right? Like, I know it needs more visceral impact or whatever you need, and it's like, trying to communicate that. I agree. It can be a challenge.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things, like, as well as staying away from sounds that are exactly the same every play, right? So, like, doing things like making multiple sounds for that, or pitch shifting it slightly each time, things like that to make sure that it doesn't sound exactly the same, because it gets so grating. And, like, I've never gotten that from this at all. But there are some games out there where you're like, please don't play that sound ever again. Please don't do that. It's, like, super annoying.
Yeah, we do. I will say there's some VO that's like approaching that just because we're limited in the amount we have. But yeah, we do try to make sure like sound effects have variation. Even VO, we have, for certain actions, we have multiple lines.
That was a rough match, by the way. It's just so brutal seeing the faster characters where you're like, you watch a bunch of Loxodon. Loxodon's like super slow. And then you watch a Maple match. You're like, that is a ridiculously quick character. Like,
I love playing Maple in the Loxodon because she's fast and he's he's got a big hurt box and you just feel like you're comboing him the whole time.
Yeah, damn. Next set is going to be, let's see. I'm grabbing into this. Need the second invite.
Looks like it's going to be top 8.
Yeah, losers top 8. It's going to be Bunthers and Kells.
Nice. So Kells is our video editor who is also doing a lot more in the game. So unlike me, where like I said, mostly work in Trello and web, Kells was hired to do video, but then got himself in Unreal and is helping with like camera tools and things like that. So he is also very good at Melee. So I'm not surprised to see him this far in the bracket. Damn. And Bunthers is, I believe, off-brand someone. Do you recognize that Steam?
I don't know anybody's handles, dude.
Okay, good. Yeah, so right now we're just using Steam names. So we did tell them before the tournament, it's like, hey, whatever you have as your Steam name, make sure that's what people can call you, like in the tournament.
Yeah.
So
Bunthers is off-brand. I'm gonna have to find out who it is.
Yeah. Let me ask SVS.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But we did have, I think, 3 off-brand enter this one. So this is the first dev ticket tournament where we had off-brand people come in, and I think I was told there were 3. So
that's sick. That's super sick.
I mean, there was a bit of time where like off-brand and friends were some of the best players because that very first build, the Kickstarter build from like December, there was only like devs and then a couple content creators that had access. It wasn't really until like Genesis where, a lot more people got their hands on the game. So yeah, there was a period of time where like off-brand had some of the best players.
Bunthers also has beaten me in half the brackets I've entered. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, wait. Why is he here? Who's Bunthers?
Yeah, who's Bunthers, dude? Who are they? Bunthers versus Kells. So it's going to be Crag and a Zetterburn. We haven't seen a Zetterburn yet.
Yo, excited for this. Zetter.
So Zetterburn actually lights people on fire. Which is rough.
and then your strong attack send him further. And that's like, I love Zetterburn because he's such a basic rivals character, but he's like, every time I'm on stream when I was doing like rivals on like tournaments, we bring it up. It became like a meme of me explaining this mechanic because it's like so core to like understanding like every character kind of has like a passive.
Yeah.
A thing that makes them unique.
I love that he can light people on fire and they just take damage. You know, just a little bit of damage over time. It's just tick. There's just so much tick. And, oh, that failed. No. It was so close to the grab, dude.
Yeah, that's like a platform fighter thing because he had other resources, but he wanted to go for the quick, you know, go for ledge. You get edge hugged and that's it.
Wild.
Also, seeing Zetterburn on fire is hilarious too because the only way that happens is if the Crag parries and it reflects the fireball, then it will light Zetterburn on fire.
So it actually lights him on fire? That's funny. I love that. Crag without that skin on is really interesting. Like, there's so much interest with like the stone mechanic. Because like I was seeing the soccer ball before, and it's actually really cool to see that he's all like blocks, really kind of jagged. I dig that, and his back being able to release all the rock pieces like that.
Yeah, and then Crag's a good example of like what we're hoping to do for skins. So we have this, we're building out like a hierarchy. So there's like common, rare, and epic skins, and depending on the rarity is like how much stuff changes. So like a common skin, for example, would be like texture changes, but like the pillar and the rock all look the same. And then like rare, we start changing a couple things, like maybe the rock looks like a soccer ball, for example.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I dig that.
And then epic, we go real crazy, right? Like new pillar, new rock, maybe some sound effects, stuff like that. Oh,
Dude,
El's got edge guard twice on that.
Yeah. Oh, that was rough, dude. That was rough. Soccer Crag, my beloved. Yeah.
Chels is also a really good test for like as our servers are improving as well. Like this new service, he's really excited to get online because he's up in Canada and Newfoundland, so like very far away from, you know, traditional servers. But when it does, you know, when we do have connections that are playing well for him, or he's able to connect to somewhere close to him and he gets a good connection, like he plays a lot of melee, so he's got a good feel for it.
I don't know how we got up to 47,000 viewers, guys. I don't know if Twitch put us on front page or what. It suddenly just leapt into the sun and then dropped to half. Yeah, I have no clue. If you did Twitch, thanks.
Yeah, no, they tell you if you got raided or something by someone else?
Oh, if it's a raid, yeah, but there was no raid. It just like popped up, and I was like, all right.
You're just so popular. I just assumed they were all here. They're just like...
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I think the highest we've ever had on channel was when we broke the world record for the hype train, and there was 50,000 people on stream, and then I cried in a banana suit. It was a good day. It was a good day.
That's awesome.
Long lemon, actually. Long lemon. I'll clip that. I didn't say that. Not a banana. It's long lemon. It's different. Dude, what a good match. This is like... This map is actually kind of cool, too, having the 3 platforms like that.
Yeah, so this is a pretty traditional, like, you know, Battlefield kind of layout, but we spent a lot of time on, like, what was the visual of it in a way that, like, it makes sense to have these 3 platforms. And that's, like, the shrine, kind of a dojo.
Oh, Kells finally getting 1 stock out of him.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not off stage, he's doing pretty well. The problem is when he does go off stage, he's lost his stocks very quickly.
Yeah, he's getting his he's getting edge guarded out, so he can't do anything. Oh, damn. Yeah, Bunthers is really good, man. Yeah. And this is the losers bracket, right?
Yeah. So this is losers top 8.
No way. That's wild.
So the loser of this is out, and the winner will continue in top 8 bracket.
Yep. That shield mechanic is wild. Love that. I'm glad there's shields in this.
Yeah, Zetterburn too. So like if you hate shields and you want to ruin them, Zetterburn's a good character to pick because he has some of the best shield pressure in the game. Just like Fox and Smash has like that shine. Like you can use shine and other attacks to like really break someone's shield by building up damage on it.
What about fire? Does the fire tick damage on the shield or no?
No, the property only applies if you actually like hit them. But I mean, if they are on fire, they're still taking damage even if they're shielding. So if you get the fire on early.
That's good. Yeah, that makes sense. Whoa! That pillar was nice.
One of the things I like about Zetaburn is he has like a little anti-comeback mechanic. Oh, this could be a comeback here.
It's that 1v1, dude.
Because Zetaburn's down special, you just lay fire on the ground, and if they stand in it, they take damage. And that's like a pretty good thing where if you're up a lot of stocks and you're having trouble hitting them, you can kind of just like put fire down and fight on it.
Oh, no! Oh,
Oh, you have a little bind.
that was so close. That's a close one, man. Yeah, damn.
That was a good match, though.
Bunthers for the win, dude.
Yeah, Bunthers 2-0 over Kels.
Yeah.
So Devs are kind of getting rocked. I think Trevor won all his sets that we've watched, but they were close.
Yeah, they've been trying to get, so for anybody worried about the ping, they've been trying to get the ping to match between the different players in each of the matches because it's super important that they're on even ground. So they had there was one of the matches earlier where somebody was at 5 and the other person was at 80, and they rematched it to about 40-40. And remember, this is the like most bare bones server infrastructure they can do right now. Eventually, like when the game is out, all this stuff is going to get improved dramatically. So you're looking at the like early version of that, where they're still testing around with different, server infrastructure models, still testing around with different ways of provisioning servers in different areas of the world to make sure that ping comes down. So you're basically looking at it at the worst it will be right now, which is kind of rad, right? I think the only time it might be worse is if it launches and there's like 1 billion people that just crush the servers, which can always happen. It's a nightmare scenario. It's the best problem to have, you know?
Well, yeah, the worst was a couple months ago when we first did the test before the beta, but it's gotten better each time. And one of the other cool things too is like anytime we're improving the game is actually improving the online as well, because like the game is running, on the servers. So like optimizing not only makes it run better on the servers, but eventually we can put like more instances on servers. So like we can have, just like better performance for the servers that we have. So yeah, basically any improvements we're making is like just gonna make the netcode better. Like that's our goal, is to just get it better and better from here.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's a good thing too, because like I think that's one of the things is people will judge that very harshly. They're always going to judge server performance, especially on launches, really really harshly. But it's one of those things where it's like this is really really stable for where it is in the dev cycle. It's really stable for where it is for like. You can get online, you can play, even in like a tournament like this, and there are options to fix things when there are issues, right? That's a good place to be, man. And the fact that you guys are shopping around for like new server infrastructure just to make sure it's the best possible result and not like fully locked in of like, oh, it is what it is. That's a good thing. That as a player, that makes me happy,
Yeah, honestly, if we had tried to do the same thing 10 years ago in 2015 when Rivals launched, it would have been so much harder because there's so many more options for like cloud server infrastructure that's like scalable with the game. It might not be the most cost effective to be relying on like cloud servers, but like for a small team where like we don't have a fleet of engineers or like, just bare metal servers hosted throughout the world that we can use, it's so much more accessible for devs, right? Like if you can use something like PlayFab or, Azure or any service where like you can spin up servers based on demand, it's super cool time to be like developing. I would still say multiplayer is a lot harder than single player if you're getting into game dev, but it's never been, more accessible to build games like this.
So this match is actually interesting. So Captain Youngblood and Kumi, they went and tested ping, and they found that the ping was okay. So like, even though it's 27 to 76, they both felt that was within their feeling of tolerance to do the match. So they went in and tested it, felt it, thought it was fine, and moved on.
Yeah, this would be one where again, like if like I said, we're talking about switching over to a new infrastructure where we might have more servers. So like Trevor and I in the past did have stuff like this where we had to decide, one of us is 20, one of us is 70. But then, the new infrastructure did have one between us and we were excited for that. So maybe we'll have it. But in some cases, like, yeah, you either go for something like this or you both agree to go to somewhere like further. So then you're both at like, 70 or 80.
And it looks like this is the winners finals best of 5 for this. So these are going to be some rough matches. This is the first time we've seen Raster as well.
Yeah. Which is interesting because I play Maple and I really like playing her against floaties like Raster and Fleet because I think her combo game works really well against them in this engine. But also Raster, if you're good, is kind of it's a little bit of a cheat code.
Tell me about this wind mechanic. What's going on there?
Yeah, so we talked about you played League back in the day. So the original idea for it was stolen from Gallia.
Okay.
He had that move where you put out the tornado and then you just move faster in it. So it's like the platform fighter version of it. So Raster puts it out and then he just gets horizontal speed across the board gets increased. So his run speed, his air speed, as long as he's inside that line, he's getting like a horizontal boost.
So instead of zone denial, it's like zone buff. I love that.
Yeah, and he's not that fast. Like he's not the fastest character, especially on the ground. But then when you have the current out, you get a decent speed boost.
It seems like he's got a lot of burst speed, like differently than just like normal speed. Yeah.
Well, even the kick, he has like a wind kick that he does forward that goes further when you're in the current. But you have to decide where you place it, because some people like it, on the ground, like Kumi's doing here. Some people like to place it on the platforms. In Rivals 1, there used to be like a tech you could do where you jump at just the right height to cover both with the current, and people did that. So it's a little bit of choice as well, like where do you want your speed boost? Do you want it in the air or do you want it on the ground?
Yeah, definitely. See kind of how it's all down to playstyle at that point. Oh, here we go, 1-1.
Oh boy.
But can I play as a ferret? They were talking about that earlier. Dan was saying there might be something eventually. Don't know yet.
Yeah, our artists have ideas. They're excited.
I'm excited for that. That sounds awesome. If you need references, I have a billion pictures of ferrets. It's because of our rescues. We have 45 in the rescue now, by the way.
Wait, yeah. Do you have a social for the rescue?
Yeah, it's actually ferrets.live, so you can go and watch them at any time. The entire rescue is actually run by ad revenue on Twitch, which is, I wanted to make ads do something that's not shit, something that was actually really good. And then, yeah, that's the whole deal, and we just kind of do that. And we have a ton of photos and all that kind of stuff. I just release them all the time. So if you want a bunch of them, I've got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna send them to our team. We'll use your reference.
If you go to ferrets.live and you go to the about section on that Twitch channel, it will. There's a bunch of shots, pictures of each one of them.
Oh, awesome!
All the mug shots.
Oh my gosh, I need to show you a game I made when I was in college called Blackfoot, because I think you would.
I've never heard of this.
I think Blackfoot? You would play this game. Yeah, if you look up Blackfoot, Dan. Dan Fernandez, my name. I just sent you a link. It's a game that I made for like a game jam in Game Maker, and you play as a ferret.
Oh, I found it. It's over on HIO. Oh wait, no. It's not an HIO. Is this HIO?
I just have like a website that I built for. This might have been pre-HIO. I had a donate button. I think I got literally 2 donations.
I'm gonna link this in chat.
Do it. It's hilarious. But this game is kind of part of why Maple made it into Rivals, because I was like, I like ferrets.
Oh, that's rad, dude. Yeah, it's awesome as hell. Ferret game.
It was like a stealth platformer, which is funny because I made it. I didn't really play a lot of stealth games like as a kid. Like I didn't have a PlayStation.
Oh.
So I knew about Metal Gear, but never played them. So I just based it on like what I thought stealth games were like. And then after I made it, I worked at Microsoft for a bit, and I worked on Mark of the Ninja, which was a stealth platformer. And I was like, wow, this game's so much better. But the high-level concept is very similar to my little bird.
I showed the website to Chad, and the website is now dead.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it's on Bluehost, so it's
just
probably
500 error instantly.
It's not prepared to be hugged. I'm sorry, everyone. There's a trailer on YouTube.
So funny.
You guys can go find it.
Just bookmark it, guys. No, this happens all the time. So, like, the goblins, man. Anytime I show them anything, they look at it and it dies. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. There's no way around it.
The game is downloadable from there, so if you wait till it comes back, you can actually. It's just a free.
Here, let's see if you guys can kill this link. There you go. See if you can break that one. Oh, this match is really good. Oh!
Lily saved.
Raster almost had it. Look at the rain in this match. So this is that sudden death mechanic, and now like the storm starts out, the rain starts going. Did the music get a little bit more muted as well?
We want to do stuff with music, like that's one of the ideas that we have, but I don't think there's anything yet, unless our team has already started experimenting with it. But we talked about like, hey, we talked about we don't really want the music to change so abruptly because like that could be awkward. But we talked about maybe layering in additional instruments and things like that when it gets.
That's
to
a cool way to do it.
Could be really cool.
I have a couple of boss fights where we do stuff like that in Heartbound, and it's just, oh, damn, that was a good hit at the end. It always feels really good when you have like we have a song that's called Joe Regular, and then we have one Joe Regular but with sunglasses, and it's just the same song, but you add some extra instruments to it, you know.
It's just a little cooler, just a little cooler.
Yeah, just a tad cooler, you know. It's a little bit better, and I always enjoy that where you just layer in new instruments because it can change the whole feel of the song, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's funny too because we're coming from Rivals 1, which was early access, and even though we're not planning on launching like Rivals 2 as early access, but we're treating it like, you know, it's going to be a long-term service. So like, yeah, we definitely, it's not like anything is locked in stone. Like if stages don't have music changing on last doc, but like we still want to work towards it, and if we can do an update where, you know, stages get it, even if it's after launch, like it's not something that's out of the
that makes sense. Yeah, not launching it early access is pretty interesting, actually. A lot of games do now, and the fact that you guys feel so comfortable about the game and where it is that you want to launch it as a full game. You know, not an early access title, but still taking community feedback. I think that shows how positive you feel about it, you know, and where it is.
Yeah, for us, like we feel it's, you know, we wanted to be in line with Rivals left early access in 2017, and we still added characters and like stuff like that after. So like we're trying to get it comparable to like that launch basically.
Ooh. It's really interesting watching two such fast characters like Raster and Maple, and they're fast in different ways. It's not just like, lol, you're fast. It's like Raster's fast in bursts, like I was talking about earlier, and Maple's just quick all the time. And the hook shots are really interesting too. Really grab and pull. So like, I see Maple can actually put like a bind on people. What does that do? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so the first thing she's doing is that mark, which again, like kind of like MOBA inspired, like something like Kennen, where he had like his electric mark. And then from there, you have a couple different things you can do. One of the things you can do is your strong attacks wrap, which is sick because you get different. A lot of times you just do the same strong attack again if it's time to kill. But depending on percent, if you wrap them in a low percent, you can do different combo starters. So that's one of the main benefits of the mark. The other benefit of the mark is you can tether to them. In Rivals 2, you hit A and B at the same time. And that's sick because you can either use it to recover, right? Like if they're sitting on stage and they're not ready for you, you can recover. Or if you're comboing, you can use it to catch up to them and finish your combo. So a lot of times you'll see Maples kill off the top of the screen by hitting them up and then tethering and hitting them again.
I think it's really interesting that, you know, Kumi here is actually putting that snapper. What is that one's name? The one with the mouth?
Lily.
So putting Lily just slightly in. So it's like when you actually fully jump back into the arena, then it's a threat. You know, not right on the edge.
That's where I like to put her too, because you can put it at a distance where it covers roll at ledge and a couple other things. So you're really limiting what they can do off of ledge if you don't want to get hit. You're putting a lot of mental back pressure on them, and then you try to punish their other options.
Oh man, this is 1-to-1 left. Look at the two plants at the back too. Those popped up when it became the final stock. Look at that.
This
is
Maple's
favorite. Mat, right?
Yeah, this is Maple's. And kind of in Sylvanas from Rivals 1 as well. We kind of combined their stages because we had like a tree top in Rivals 1 and Sylvanas was the floor. So now we have like the tree and the floor at the same time.
Oh, it's so close. Look at the percentages.
Yeah, this is the best hit because these characters are light.
100% anyone's game right now. One wrong move, dude. One wrong move.
I thought that wrap was it.
I thought it was too, and then the break.
Yeah, got the shield out just in time.
Oh. Maple's pulling ahead.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Too many rolls by Trevor here.
Oh, man. That's really close. 150. Oh, that's it. Yeah, no. Once that ref went out, no, there's no way.
So that's game 3. This is best of 5, so 2-1 Kumi over Trevor.
That was a wild, wild one. It's still best of 5, yeah?
Yeah, best of 5.
Just 2-1. Yeah.
One more win for Kumi, or Trevor needs 2 more to pull this off.
Yep,
and then winner of this goes to Grands. Loser has to duke it out in the loser's bracket.
Yeah, honestly, like, Kumi's Maple is really good. Just seeing, like, the zone control, being able to control, like, so much of the map like that, and playing the ledge, like, constantly playing the ledge.
Yeah, I think Trevor here trying to abuse one of Maple's main weaknesses, which is, like, her recovery. I don't think it's bad in this game, especially if you don't have someone marked, though. You're very reliant on the wall. So, like, a character like Raster can kind of bully you in that he can go down there with you and just hit you because he knows you need to get to the wall, like down here.
Yeah,
Kumi went high.
It's actually very clear too that like Captain Youngblood here is actually really good when Raster's in that wind, and like that's when the aggression starts, and then gets a little bit like less aggressive once the wind is over, and that's when Maple is just going and just cleaning house. You know, like that's, you can see it each time of this. It's wild. It's really interesting, like kind of give and take.
He was getting nervous on that final stock of that last game, like seeing the rolls and like just looking a little slower than his Raster was looking earlier in the match.
Yep. That upclap is so strong. It's got a good sound to it too.
Yeah, and that's the sweet spot too. So right in the center of the clap, there's like a little wind effect, and if you hit that, that's when you get like the really early KO.
Okay, so it doesn't just have a hitbox, it has gradiented hitboxes for extra effect.
Yep. So basically, like the wings have a hitbox, and then there's like this little dot. You can even see it when you whiff. It like makes a little flash right in the center, and if you hit someone on that, that's when you get like the real big reward.
That's fantastic, actually. I love that because it adds even extra skill to it of like perfect aim on top of just landing the hit, you know?
Mm-hmm. It also gives you like opportunity. So there, yeah, you get hit by the wing, and it's like you have opportunity to hold out and, you know, not get KO'd as bad.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I dig this, dude.
Yeah, one of the things that was interesting going to Rivals 2 is how a lot of the characters, they do play. Oh,
that ledge guard was so rough, dude. It was just get down there, brutal.
It was sick. But a lot of the characters do play really similar to Rivals 1, and I heard some people ask, like, hey, if it's Rivals 2, like, why didn't you do more differences with the characters, like, other than the grabs and the throws and the new special pummel and the special get-up and special options. But one of the things we really wanted to see is, like, we wanted the Rivals 1 characters to get a chance to, like, play in this engine. So, like, that was really exciting to us. Of, like, getting to see, like, with all these new options and with knockdown and all these new mechanics, like, how would the Rivals characters play. So there might be changes over time, like things that feel old and like don't really match this game. Like, we're not going to be afraid to like necessarily like, hey, maybe Raster's down tilt gets like an overhaul at some point, like late in the game. But early on, like, we didn't want to like spend too much time like reworking stuff because we wanted to see like, okay, like the Rivals 1 character we know is sick. Like, how does it feel in a new engine?
Dude, this match is really, really good. Look at this, 88 to 85%.
Yep.
And this could be it. Kumi pulls this out. That's the end.
Yeah, this will be the end of the set, so Trevor needs to get the W just to continue.
Yep.
And here you see one of the more subtle last stocks, like one of the first ones we did. This is one where it would be a lot of fun to add like kind of more stuff.
There it is. Kumi wins it. Best 3 out of 5 on that. It was 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1. Let's go see. What is the next bracket? So the next one's going to be, what is it? Youngblood and Nardwar, I believe.
Next one is loser semifinal. So this is for 4th place. Well, loser gets 4th. Winner is either 3rd or keeps going. So that means, so this match will happen. Then the winner of this will play Trevor. and
Hmm.
then the winner of that is grand finals. So there's only 3 matchups left, but possibly 4 sets because how double elimination bracket. If somebody beats Kumi, then they play another best of 5 because Kumi has to lose twice to get eliminated.
Hmm. Waiting for it. Already mentioned they'll be adding more characters. Maybe you could chat about some characters we may not see today. Are there any of those that you can reveal today? Chat wants to know.
No, we haven't. None of so we are revealing a character soon, and the way that you can know that is because if you look at the Kickstarter roadmap, there is like a beta calendar. So there's a beta next weekend called the June beta where we're testing out new features. One of the ones is like if you back the game and you got skins, like we want to be able to give you, the skins that you got, which is like the retro Game Boy looking ones and some other there was like some certain ones you could get like a Bandit Maple. But we label kind of each of the betas up through August. So there's like June, July, August. And in the July one and in the August one, it says 9 characters are playable in those betas, which means sometime between now and the July beta, there will be a character reveal.
Hmm. Yeah, I just linked them the roadmap so you guys can see that there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So that's the main thing. And then we have also said there's gonna be 10 characters at launch, and there's 8 in this build, so we got 2 characters left. One thing I'm excited to share that we haven't really talked about is even though a lot of the team it's very stressful coming into close to launch, and we're juggling so many different things and we're going crazy. We have not fallen behind on kind of our character schedule, so we're still making progress there. So we don't expect it to be too long before we get past 10, right? Like it's not going to be a year before you see another character. We should have characters coming out, within the first year after launch that we've been working on. So even though the game's launching with 10, the hope is that we'll have a bigger roster not that far after that.
Hell
And
yeah.
yeah, shout outs to our animation team, Trevor, VFX, a lot of the people on our team who are still working on upcoming content. They've all been doing a great job and sticking on schedule. So we're really excited to, just get to add more characters and more content to the game.
Any of the Workshop 4 returning? Workshop 4.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So in Rivals One, we
Hmm.
added 4 characters from the community.
Oh, from Workshop
No,
characters. Okay.
Workshop 4. So those characters, yeah, when we basically reached out to all the devs, we basically acquired the character for the IP. So we've already seen Olympia was in Dungeons of Ether, for example. Malo was in our comic Tales of Ether. So those characters are planned to be part of the world all up. So the Workshop 4 have just as much of a chance of returning as anyone else. The only thing we said is that Ori and Shovel Knight are not currently planned to return at all. We're just focused on, kind of like the original characters currently. Um, so those two, there's like no anticipation, but every other character is kind of free game to return. We're kind of treating it like Street Fighter does, where we know people have their favorites that they want back, but we also want to add new characters. We also want to do other characters from the lore. So that's what Loxodon was. He was actually in story mode and now he's playable. So like
Hmm.
we have a lot of stuff to pull from. Um, so yeah, you can expect to see maybe like some more dungeons characters like Fleet could be on the roadmap. Maybe some other characters from Rival Story mode. Maybe some brand new characters, and then also returning. So it'll be some time before all the characters are back, but everything is basically fair game.
Nice. I'm trying to get into this game. Joining up into it now. How will Rivals 2 explore the characters in the Aether universe or Ether universe?
Yeah, so we talked about that a bit. Right now, before we're gonna try to do chapter 1 of story mode, sometime post launch, we need to have the game come out and perform before we can form a team around it again. We don't currently have a team on it. But the big thing we're doing now is like kind of the trailers and the voiceover and just giving a chance for more personality. We might do some more story outside of game as well in the meantime, depending on how well the game does. But I think the things to look forward to is, yeah, trailers, voices, and then ideally chapter 1 of story mode sometime post launch.
Nice. Is there a way to play local co-op instead of playing online on the servers?
Not right now. It's something we want, but it's really like it comes down like to the menu and the QA and the testing of it. But it's definitely something we targeted as a desire because that's actually one of the main ways I engaged with Smash Ultimate was me and my neighbor would just queue up doubles, which on the same Switch, which I thought was really fun. Um, so we want to do it, but we don't have it currently built. It's not a guarantee for launch, but it's something we want to add. The one thing that we do have guaranteed though, and we do have in the betas, is 2 friends can queue up for doubles together in this matchmaking queue. So if you both have the game on Steam, you can both queue up and get 2 random opponents.
Makes sense.
So that's something that Rivals 1 did have it eventually, but we definitely did not launch with that.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you're always going to learn a lot from any game that you launch, and the fact that you guys have learned so much from Rivals 1, and now you've got all these different systems and different ideas, and you're building on that in Rivals 2, that's great. That's where you want to be, 100%. Oh, that fall was rough.
I thought Evil Nardbar was also going, like, it looked close, like,
yeah.
I love when that kind of stuff happens, and, like, you both got a little too greedy.
Well, 2-2 was 0%.
Yeah, not how you expect this late in bracket tournament match to start with
yeah.
Basically SDs, not quite. They were both forced errors, I believe, is I don't know, is that like a baseball? Let's see, it's like a baseball thing. There was pressure, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. This is a really interesting matchup too, because like Claren is so fast, you know.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one because they both benefit from their large disjoint. That's what makes the characters good. I would honestly much rather be Claren in this matchup because if you both have disjoint, I would want the character who has speed and disjoint over the one who just has disjoint.
I can agree with that too. Also because like Loxodon, a lot of his abilities are like big, you know, big animation wise, and it's like just easier. It was easier for me to counter, you know.
Yeah, that's fair too. That's a really good point because we call it the meatball, the neutral special. That's a pretty good one to do on reaction as Claren.
Oh yeah, 100%. Chat wants to know what you mean by disjoint. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so a disjoint is when your hitbox extends past your hurtbox. And like when people talk about, especially in a platform fighter, how disjointed, you know, a character or an attack is, it's basically like how much distance is that? Because someone like Zetterburn, his attacks are disjointed, but very slightly because it's his hand with his claw, but like his arm can still get hit. But if you have a weapon, your attacks are generally much more disjointed because, you know, your hurtbox is back with your body, but the weapon is extending the hitbox a lot further.
Yeah, what are you saying by hurtbox versus hitbox is the hitbox is the attack, the hurtbox is where you can get hit, right? You can't attack the other person's sword and deal damage to it.
Yeah, and generally the way we balance these games is like if you do have a character who's disjointed so they can hit you from far away, they're often slower. There's more opportunities to punish them. Like Rivals in general is kind of a fast game, so Claren to me still feels really fast. But she does have noticeable, like if you compare her to someone like Zetterburn, you know, there's a lot more opportunity to, you know, get attacks in if she misses.
Yeah, definitely. That's why it's such an interesting matchup because you've got two characters with weapons. You know, one of them's quite slow, one of them's very fast, and they're evenly matched players. Like, look at that. 1-1 left, 106 to 114.
And then I thought that was going to do it. That's like one of the fun kill aerials on Loxodon is you use the neutral special. So the same move that tosses the meatball, if you use it in the air, you KO. Oh, so close to getting it twice now.
Oh man, it's so close. Oh man. The edge guard, though.
Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say, though, Pikmin had, like, yeah, there's a steal that many times, like, just barely surviving.
Yeah. Oh, it was so wild. Yeah, that edge guard was so ridiculous, man. Is there DI in Rivals?
Yeah. So Rivals 1, we had traditional DI, we had ASDI, which is like in Smash, you can like teleport a little bit when you right as you're getting hit. We have one where it's like you just can do it at the end, so it's a little bit less demanding on your hands. And then in Rivals 1, we also had a mechanic called Drift DI, where you can like shift a little bit, ever so slightly, when you're in hit stun. Rivals 2 right now, what we have is we have regular DI, just like you can similar items to Smash. We also have the same ASDI, but we have a new. It's called we're calling it single shift DI, SSDI, where it's not as demanding as Smash because you don't have to mash it, but you can get a single further little shift right when you get hit if you hit the button right as you get hit. And it's kind of similar to other games to like perfect defense, right? So like a parry in Street Fighter, where like right as you get hit, if you input the button, you go a little further. And that's our defensive play. A lot of Rivals 1 fans are wishing for Drift DI, which was a mechanic from Rivals that I kind of added. I was experimenting early with all kinds of different DI options in Rivals, and I actually ended up doing both. I kind of was leaning between, a traditional Smash DI, which is like you just hit the controller as you're getting hit to go somewhere, and I was going towards fully just controlling it during hit stun only. And what I found was like something in between kind of worked well, where it was like I still had DI, but I had slight horizontal control in hit stun. The reason Rivals 2 doesn't have it right now is we've kind of built the systems around the combos not having drift DI because, especially with throws and stuff, like if you're trying to mix up someone's DI on a throw, like an up throw, if they can then drift out of the combo,
it just doesn't feel good. Yeah.
Even though you got them, right? Like let's say they're expecting a down throw and they DI'd for that, but you went for the up throw, you tricked it, and now they just drift out. Like that's not, you can't really react to it because the drift is slow and it's, you don't feel like you got rewarded. So that's kind of where we started without having it. But we're still working through like kind of how the combos feel, because I think a lot of Rivals players say, well, okay, now without it, I feel like I'm getting stuck in up airs is a common complaint. But for us, we're like, okay, we do agree that this is a problem. Like, if you hit too many maple up airs in a row, it doesn't feel good for either player to just be stuck in that. So we're exploring ways of like, okay, what is our counter to like these vertical options to make sure that players, feel like they can express themselves on both offense and defense.
Yeah, and players are always going to optimize. Oh, that crush on the edge. Players are always going to optimize the fun out of stuff. So if they can find a combo that's just like hit this one over and over and over again, they're just going to find it.
Yeah, that KO we just saw, the one that you called out, was a sick mechanic because he parried the recovery of Claren, the big sword swing.
So that's what that was?
So he parried it, and what happens is if you get your recovery parried, when you grab the ledge, you're not invincible anymore.
Oh.
He parried it and then immediately went for that stomp and stomped him off the ledge and got the KO.
That's such a good kill.
Yeah, it's really
I was wondering, I was like,
satisfying.
is that just like you just smash the fingers thing? I didn't realize it was a parry. That's great.
Yeah, because normally you can't just do that right away because they get some invincibility frames when they grab ledge, but because you get parried, you lose those invincibility frames.
Wild. Loxodon gonna win? I don't know, man. Maybe. Claren's got 2 stock right now. Loxodon's only got 1.
Yeah, like I said, it's a combo-heavy game, so anything's possible. But I'm the type of commentator. I'm always betting on who's currently leading.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
future stock's not as good as present stock.
True that. Is this one 3 of 5 as well? I believe it is, right?
That's a good question. Yes.
Yeah, this one's best of 5.
And then so will the next 2.
Oh, almost tried to do that again.
Yeah, got the parry, but then this time Claren landing on stage, so I had to go for, kind of a different punish option.
Yep. Oh my god. Some of these combos are great, man.
Yeah, that was a really cool little exchange with the tech on the wall by Pikmin as well, because he went for the stomp to kind of just catch the recovery, and Pikmin was ready for it.
Yeah, you can see that, like, both Pikmin and Nardwuar are really, really good with these characters, too. Because they're timing everything correctly, God, Loxodon is just such an interesting character, too. There's so many things you can do where it's like, you've got mid and close range threat at all times with him. Oh! That hit, dude, the meatball dead.
That was the guarantee KO. I love seeing that in Ultimate too. You know, like in Ultimate they have that where like if you hit someone really far off stage, the camera can't really get to you, so the screen just like turns red. And we kind of saw the Rivals 2 version of that. The screen was purple. We couldn't see the meatball hitting.
The meatball hit, dude. Yeah, off-screen meatball death.
It was awesome.
Is this a 24-hour stream? No, I normally stream for 12 hours a day, every day except for Thursday, but today I streamed long so we could do this. Show off the game and have some fun with it.
Yeah, somebody just asked if the windscreen stage dependent. So yeah, we mentioned that earlier, but that's a new update for basically this stream. Corey, our tech artist on our team, had just got it in this week. And yeah, every stage will not only now have the stage on the results, but it also keeps the last stock setting. So like if it was last stock, the sky and stuff is going to be matching what the game was when the match ended.
That's such a nice touch. Honestly, little things like that matter a lot. It's huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool because it's gonna mean like if you have the opportunity to not let it get to last stock, it's more bragging rights because you'll see the daytime results screen.
Yeah, most definitely.
It would be funny for people to have. They can sit there, set your own goals.
Yeah, I think that's always like a really cool thing to do though. Is you know, any little touches like that, any kind of extra details, that's cool. I also really like this map as well. Because you have the kind of like grass and tree area, you've got the big barrier wall and the desert on the outside of it. It's just neat looking, you know? Just a lot of nice things like that. I'm a sucker for good environment, man.
Oh yeah, I love this stage, the way it turned out in 3D. Because we had this stage in Rivals 1, but the perspective is different. You're looking completely from the desert side, so you just see trees behind, right? Like we're kind of along the wall, you know, perpendicular to this. So when we first started concepting out this stage, I was so excited to like get to do the split like biome.
Yeah, I love that you're like fighting on a watchtower basically, or in a watchtower section on the wall, you know. It's just nice.
And one of the cool little details you'll see if you get the last stock, you see how like the watchtower has these doors. There's these openings. There's doors that come down and shut because like a sandstorm ends up.
Oh, that's sick.
So we just like, we shut the doors.
Oh.
It's a little bit of world building. Just a little bit.
Oh my god, the timing. Look at that edge guard, dude. Insane.
Yeah, I can't believe you made it back.
They're just playing with each other the whole time, trying to mess around with timing.
Just KO first, too.
Yep. First KO into it.
That was sick.
Yeah, I love Claren. Claren's definitely going to be my main, I think.
Yeah, she's fun.
Yeah, she's a super fun character. I think it's one of the things is like playing through each one of the characters, trying them all out, and then I realized very quickly it's like, this character feels right. This feels like my playstyle. You know, like finding one that just feels the right kind of speed, the right kind of range, right kind of, you know, movement, anything, whatever it is. And mechanics-wise, it just felt like that. Because I think I tried out Maple first, and I was like, this is way too twitchy for me, dude.
Yeah. That's totally a fair reaction. I think that's what's kind of cool too about a platform fighter in general is like I think the new fighting games do a really good job of like making you feel that archetype, right? Like that power, you know, fantasy of like the grappler versus the rushdown. But platform fighters too, like just in the movement alone, like before you even hit any buttons, you can have like a lot of different, you know, expression and feeling.
That disrespect combo was insane. Just juggled across the map, dude. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. One stock to two stock.
Yeah, this match turned around because I definitely, Pikmin was definitely up, like had the lead after the first stock.
Oh, yeah. Do any of the characters have any moves that spike? I mean, there's, what is his name? Like spike, like, from the ground? Ground spikes or something else?
I think just send downward. Like a spike in like Smash is typically just like any move that, you know, you can attack them in the air and it'll send them down.
Okay, so like launch them straight down. All right.
Yeah, and actually both these characters have decent spikes. So Claren has her downer, but it has to tip her to spike. And then Loxodon has like a big kind of Ganon style stomp with his feet. And he also has a grab that spikes when it's off stage, like the little toss you do. Which I think is awesome.
Yeah, we've actually seen a couple of Loxodon kills using that ground slam, the foot stomp that spiked down.
Yeah, there was foot stomp. So in Rivals, a lot of the stages go all the way down. So you saw he did actually land the foot stomp, and the only reason it didn't KO was because Pikmin was ready to tech the wall.
Makes sense. This is really close. And yeah, the doors did close and the sandstorm was started. Because it's 1-to-1 stocks. Love that.
Yeah, I love this sandstorm idea and the way we executed it, because it like... Yeah,
oh, damn. That was kind of an unexpected death there.
Yeah, the combo started good, but it kind of, to me, it felt like it ended prematurely, like I wasn't expecting. But the thing is, the walls are close on this stage. That's one of the differences between this and some of the other starter stages, is like the blast zones are close on the side.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some of the maps feel like they're much wider than other ones. Is there not a standardized style? They're all kind of different from each other? They all feel different?
Yeah, so hopefully these values are actually, if you look at the screen right now, you can see like it had the stage size with the measurement plus blast zones. So hopefully those are up to date. I know at one point they were just baked in and we weren't actually pulling from the game. But every stage is different, and depending on the character you play, like if you know, hey, my character is really good at KOing people off the top, there are stages that you're gonna, you know, want to opt for.
Dude, mirror match. That's always the big one, man. Mirror matches are always wild to me. It's like, whose Loxodon is the best, you know?
Yeah. The mirror mid-set is crazy too, because like the matches were so close. I almost feel like...
Did he knock it back? Oh my god.
Character swaps mid-set, like in traditionally top tournaments, rarely go well, but when they do, you're like, yeah, this guy's a genius for switching. But when if it doesn't go well, it's like, oh, they should have stayed their character.
Dude, the mid-air meatball return, insane to watch.
Yeah, that was cool. The juggle.
Yeah, tennis matches win. Agree. Yeah, some people were actually asking earlier, do you guys have any plans for making, like, special maps or challenge maps or anything like that? Maybe a juggling map, like how many times can you do Loxodon juggles, right? Or any type of training maps or any of that kind of stuff?
We definitely want to do training features, right? So you can, like, train specific things, like either, you know, get the AI to do something over and over, or even, like, record something you did and just have it loop. Like, those are features we're super interested in early. I would love to do, yeah, like kind of different maps and different, you know, more training that's like more geared to someone who's just learning the game and wants to learn it. But we don't have like anything super specific for launch, other than we're still working through like an arcade mode is still targeted, even though I think we had on the Kickstarter, but I don't think we hit that number. But it's still something we're trying to get. If we can get out for launch, we'd greatly prefer it than being late. But yeah, no, I love all that stuff, and we have designs, but it comes down to like, yeah, like the manpower.
Makes sense. What kind of training features will be there at launch? Anything that players can use to like practice? Any practice rooms? Any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So we'll have like we do have a training one even in the betas, which has some stuff that you can already see. Like some of the nice stuff is just turning on hitboxes and doing frame advance to like walk through the different attacks. Wait.
That ending. Oof.
Yeah, wait, was that was not Pikmin win, that was Nardwar, so that's the set, right?
Yeah, that was set. Nardwar won.
All right, Nardwar 3-1. So we see
damn, dude.
2 3-1s now.
This is Rivals? Yes, it is. It's in the pinned comment, too. You guys can go click that.
But yeah, we do have training stuff that they can already see. So if they hop in the beta next weekend, they can see some training stuff. We do for sure want to get like CPU training up and in there too, because that's stuff that I like to use, where it's like just make the CPU sit and shield, for example, and you can practice like, you know, shield damage and things like that, or make them always grab you and always special pummel you, so you can practice breaking special pummel. So those are features that we'll ideally have for launch, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Chat wants to know if there's a standard spectator mode. I know I'm spectating in this way, but is there any other type of spectator mode, or is this the standard for being able to do it this way?
This is the standard right now. So it's like, if you do want to spectate, you can run your own tournaments and do lobby spectating. We want to get to more spectating options, whether that's like you can just spectate high level ranked matches if once ranked is in the game, or you can spectate, like there is an online tournament that we know about, the developers, and we flag it and we put it on the front screen, and you can watch matches. all that is like the UI to get it to work. And also just like how exactly we're doing, right now it's like all 4 of you guys are in the lobby. So it's like there is a lobby size limit. If you wanted to do like a ton of spectators, we'd have to be thinking about how we want that to work. Like, are we streaming a replay to a server and that's how people are watching it?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more tech that goes into like a whole bunch of people watching the same match. But the good news is for launch, for tournaments, like this is already much more stable than Rivals 1. Like Rivals 1 spectating has always been kind of buggy, and we've never really had a full-time netcode person since we added 4 players in Rivals. So the spectating in this is like, you're all connected to the server. You're not influencing the match at all, so you don't have to worry about that. Like, oh, Door's spectating, so now Trevor's getting more lag. No, it's like everyone's connected to the same server, so it doesn't matter. If you were there or not, they would have the same experience.
That's good. I mean, that's always the big concern is like what happens when there's like 100 spectators. Like, does it damage the match in some way? Because I know a lot of these games, when they're like tournament games, you're gonna have a ton of spectators. You're gonna have people that are really, really interested in watching that and restreaming it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think at that point we'd probably want to build like a replay streaming system, right? So like we
Yeah.
can be writing a replay to a server while it's happening, and like people can start watching before the match is even over. But then it's just getting that tech and having that's like cloud resources as well to like get it up and have people access it.
Love the blue recolor of Zetterburn here. Actually, it's kind of cool because like even the fire, like the tick down is blue, like all of it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great to see all the effects that way as well. Ooh.
Yeah, and one of the fun things too is like in development we've been like I said, adding skins of different rarity and variety, and like all of them do treat the palettes like a little differently. So like if you
I was
had
thinking the same thing.
a blue Zetterburn with a different skin, the fire could still look different and stuff.
It also leaves it open for like all the epic skins that you were talking about before, is being able to change all of those effects. Like having a full kit, not just having it be like, now it's Zetterburn with, like with a little bit of orange in his hair. Instead it's like all of his kit can change, all his graphics can change, all the spell effects change. Like that's great.
Yeah, our VFX guy Tony on our team he's good. He's the one on cosmetic effects, and he's been having fun just like coming up with different ideas. Like you basically look at the skin and you're like, what could I change that like wouldn't break the bank? Like I don't have to make a ton of new stuff.
Yeah, because like once you do it for one, you have to do it for all of them, or you build like a new classification of rarity or whatever at that point. Because it's like we had this cool idea to like make the characters have all of this. It's like now we got to do it for a bunch of characters, right? That's the League of Legends problem. You have 150 characters. Right. What do you do? So it totally makes sense.
Well, we've already run into this. So we have, like I said, we have a classification of common, rare, epic, and I can't even tell you the number we've had where we're like coming up with the idea, we start putting it in game, and it's supposed to be a rare, and we've upgraded to epic because we just couldn't resist adding, like
it's just cool.
Adding
yeah.
VFX, adding. And then
so
our producer's like, we need more rares.
Speaking of that, how is your guys' pipeline for that? Do you feel really comfortable with like how quickly you can release new ones? Oh wow, that kill was great. I just had to stop for a moment. That's always like I always find that's like a concern for people. They're like, am I going to be able to get like cool looking stuff quickly? Is it going to be like super, a long time waiting for new stuff?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So one thing is like we started, like we knew we wanted to do like kind of, yeah, that was
rough.
The dunk.
That hurt to watch.
I wonder if Trevor will swap characters, but we knew we wanted to do like a service like style where we're adding stuff more regularly than Rivals, because Rivals, we added characters over time, but it wasn't like, it wasn't regular updates. It's not like it was every couple months we were doing patches by the end, and so we knew we wanted to do more regular updates. So we started skins pretty early. Like as soon as we had, it might have even been at 3 characters, we started like just coming up with ideas for skins and working on the models. So the nice thing is like we are planning on like spreading out, like we have stuff to spread out over the first year. So there will be like a regular cadence. In terms of like how regular we keep it, really depends on how successful the game is and if we get more people on cosmetics or not. But the really exciting thing for me is like we just have like a bunch of different themes and a bunch of different ideas, and we really do want to like spread out these themes over the calendar year. So like things will be coming out related to like you know, there's like a pool party fleet that we
Yeah.
teased in the Kickstarter. It's like, well, that's a great skin to come out in the summer. So stuff like that.
So I'm actually really interested. What are you most worried about with Rivals 2? Like, it's such a different game from Rivals 1. You guys have tried so many different things, you know, and there's so many new features in this. What makes you nervous the most once it gets out to the public?
I think just our ability to kind of like reach, you know, like casual, more side audience, right? Because I think like as a fighting game, like we really like what we're building, and Trevor, he's been on Gameplay Lead, has been doing a great job kind of with the system. But like in terms of like an overall product, just making sure that there's enough stuff for you to do and collect if you're not going to be, you know, like on
hardcore
Evo
player.
stage. Yeah, you're not going to win tournaments or even try to play tournaments. So like trying to make sure we just have enough at launch, but also my hope is that the game is a good enough fighting game that the core is able to like get excited, so then we can add more features to basically make it full featured. And the benefit that the competitive get from that is, you know, not only are we going to keep adding stuff, you know, for people who are competitive and like new characters and new tournaments, but like just getting so many more people in over time. Because a lot of fighting games, you know, other than like Brawlhalla, you know, they tend to have a really big launch and then, you know, the player base goes down over time. But if you can get a game that's like able to sustain or get new players in, there's just like so many more people to play online. There's like new players learning. And also when you first start the game, there's people at your skill level. So that's our goal. It's like we want to make sure we have enough stuff for people new to the genre to like stick around and start playing ranked.
Yeah, I think that's always one of like the scariest things. Hey, Pizza Princess G, thank you for the rating party of 987. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's always really difficult is like when you see a game like this, it can be really kind of, I guess, overwhelming for newer players. They're like, dude, I can't do that. What the hell's even going on the screen, you know? So like having those types of, you know, easy stuff to get into the game is so important, you know? I think that's what a lot of people use. I think that's why when you're talking about story mode, that's why a lot of people are interested in it, is because that gets people into it in a less stressful environment. You know, it's not a tournament. Oh!
Yeah, for sure. And like I think what you mentioned about like what am I most worried about? Like the thing I'm most worried about is like we weren't able to get enough of that for like this Steam launch that we're working on. Like we just won't have as much as we would have liked. And I think part of that was like we had to face like the realities of game development where like, you know, we can't afford to do it all with a 20-person team. And like even just, you know, even what goes into this game and all the animation, all the attacks and the VFX and the sound and the characters, like there's a lot that just goes into this. So my big worry is like we just don't have enough at launch, and I'm hoping that at least what we have is successful enough that we are able to build upon it.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense completely. For all you new guys, my name is Thor. I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. And yeah, Pizza Princess G, we're going to hang out in the EU. Hopefully make pizza if possible. I don't know if there'll be facilities to make pizza, but I want pizza. If you don't know Pizza Princess G, she actually makes pizza on stream. So, family business. Been doing it a long time. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Yeah, pizza. Need pizza. I haven't had pizza in a while. Since Loxodon is bigger, does that mean he's heavier? Harder to kill?
His does not affect his knockback. So Edalus, a character from Rivals 1, he's like a big polar bear. He had an armor up where it actually affected his defense. But Loxodon's is only offensive, his status.
Thor, you've got quite the announcer voice. Well, thanks, man. I've been streaming for 7 years. It'll happen to you.
Let's go 7 years.
Yeah, dude. So I've basically what we're doing right now is we're actually watching a tournament for Rivals 2, and Dan here is actually, if you want to introduce yourself, Dan, go for it.
Yeah, I'm Dan Fernacci. I'm the studio lead at Ether Studios, and we're kind of doing a Q&A over the tournament. So this is a dev and backer tournament that happens once a month. That you can, if you're a backer on the Kickstarter or if you're a late backer, you can still watch this through our Discord. But this is a special public version that Thor is casting while we just answer questions about the game.
Yeah. Dude, I'm digging that. We haven't seen Fleet yet. This is the first time.
It's funny too, because as soon as he started with a good combo, but then immediately Nardwar did like a combo that's only possible on Fleet because she's lighter, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like both characters kind of showing off like what they're
capable of. Finally, like, we see somebody just, you know, juggling Nardwar's Loxodon, though, because, like, Nardwar's just been beasting this whole tournament. Oof. Good combo.
Ooh, one character thing I can share now that these two are on screen. So these two characters are the two newcomers to Rivals 2, but they're both from the lore. Fleet is from Dungeons of Aether, and Loxodon was a bad guy in the Rivals 1 story. But these are both like Trevor characters. Like we worked together on the design, but from the core, like Trevor kind of did a lot of the moveset design and a lot of the, even like the high level mechanics of like what their specials are and stuff. So if you like either of these characters, then you can definitely thank Trevor for the high level design. But that was one of the things I'd like to tease is that, so the next character that's not in Rivals 1 is going to be a Dan design character. So for people who like the dumb, the Crag, the Sylvanos, the Eliana, even Orcane, even Zetterburn, like all those characters that I designed in Rivals 1, look forward to a Dan design coming sometime down the pipeline.
Oh, that Edgeguard kill, dude.
I love it with the purple KO too. It just looks so good.
Yeah, it does.
Because the stage like stays there, but the background all goes. That's really nice at ledge.
All of chat is now freaking out. How long is this turning for? I think we've got a couple more matches.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the end. So if Nardwar wins this, then we're going right into Grands. And then, yeah, like I said, Grands can either be 1 set or 2 sets, depending on if Kumi can pull off the win, it'll be over. Otherwise, it'll go to a reset.
Yeah, this is a loser's bracket finals. This game looks fire. It is. Look, check out the pinned comment. You can go wishlist it there, dude. I can't wait to have my entire ass kicked. It's gonna be great. Just constantly, too.
In the, I forget which beta it was. It was like maybe the first beta I ran into Cake Assault online, who is a top Rivals 1 player who's been winning a lot of these, like the early tournaments, the pre-release tournaments we've had. And I think I played him like 20 matches in a row before he just like couldn't play me anymore, and I did not win a single game.
Oh man. Yeah, because like stuff like this, I don't know, dude. This is the kind of thing where I know my skill level is just going to improve as I play the game, so I'm just going to beast on it. It's not going to stop.
I will say it's one of the fun games too, where like you can go into like the echo chamber of going online and you just lose so much, but then you play your friend who was like around your skill level before you did that, and you just
demolish him. Yeah. And you're like, why are you moving so slow? Yeah. Like, what happened? You used to be so fast.
Like, I have been through the fires, and I've come out. I am the new me.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I've gained a huge amount of respect from Loxodon now.
Yeah,
just a brutal character.
The 3-0 over Trevor, the devs' last hope.
All the devs have died, Chet. It's over. That means it's a good game. When the devs finally lose at their own game, it's finally happened. The player base has ascended.
I think so. Now that people are getting good, Trevor's like strength of like he was good at everyone and can play every character and knows how to play as and against every character was always a strength for us. But now that people are getting good, I honestly think it's a weakness. Like,
because they're getting good at one specific character and they know it way better. Yeah.
Yeah, and he always has like second guessing, like, oh, should I play this or should I play that, right? Because he can play everyone. Where like I only play Maple, so like if I lose a tournament 3-0 and my Maple got 3-0'd, I'm like, well, that was my best shot. But if he loses 3-0 and he jumped around a bit, it's like, oh, should he have gone? You know, should he have done the Raster? Should he have done Rano? It's like, I don't know, more stressful to me to like not have a single main.
Let's see. Got the next match going up. What is this next one? Let's see. We already did Pigmon and Kumi, I believe.
Yeah, so this one is going to be Kumi and Nardwar for Grand Finals 1.
Yeah, because it's going to be first and second place for this, yeah? Is it?
Yeah. So winner is first, and loser gets second. That means Trevor gets third.
This is it, chat. Grand finals.
Which third might be like the lowest in all the dev tournaments, including the tickets. Third might be his lowest placing, but he has been defeated before, so.
I can't believe the devs have fallen off. Third place. Unfortunate.
I want to get a point where I can just like grind the game like beyond the betas, so then like the devs can rise back up. Like,
I think the thing I'm most interested in is seeing, once this gets out to the general public, how many new playstyles evolve out of it. Because you're going to get all kinds of stuff, man. You're going to get stuff that no one ever believed would happen.
Yeah. Some of that scares me a little bit, though. It's like, somebody plays Maple as defensively as possible. What does that look like? And honestly, that terrifies me because she's so fast. But we watch tournaments. So like we had it in Rivals 1 where like one of the strategies with Forsburn was like you would camp in smoke above the stage and you would drop clones on people and never fight them. So like pretty quickly we were like, okay, this is not how we intended this to work. What are we gonna like? What are we gonna do? Yeah, that wasn't possible. So yeah, if people are doing things that is like so not fun to play against that we have to address it, that's where we'll go. But if it's a new strategy and it's balanced and it's fun to play against and it has counterplay, like yeah, we love to see that stuff. It's when it's when there's no counterplay or it's not fun that we have to think about it.
That rap, dude.
Yeah, this combo. What the heck?
Whoa.
Styling.
Oh.
Kumi is better than me at Maple, but I did say, like, I love playing against Loxina as Maple because I just feel like I can just do whatever combos I want.
It's also really tough because I think, did Nardwar didn't have any downtime between matches, did Kumi?
Yeah, Kumi gets a break, so in fighting games, though, like, it's argued, like, some people like that and some people would much rather.
They want to stay amped, you know?
Exactly.
Maple is crazy good, and Kumi is a really good Maple.
Yeah.
Wild, actually.
Awesome today, for sure.
Oh, just completely crushed that guard.
Now, one thing Kumi's not doing, which I don't know if it's like an experience or just like wanting to go for other options, but a lot of these single horizontal hits, you can tether to Loxodon and then like nair him off stage to finish him off the side blast zone, as long as your first option was like quick enough, right? So like as long as it's not too laggy, you can like hit him off stage, tether to the side of them, and finish off the KO. But Kumi was opting to just kind of go for, you know, an actual kill from the stage.
Dude, I can't handle it every time. The trunk slap. Oh god, the trunk slap gets me every time.
The trunk slap chain grab. We need a name for what is called when you do the normal pummel into chain grab.
It's just so funny, dude.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just like a disrespect move. It's like a gotcha slap. The schlump. Don't call it the schlump, dude. Oh, it's funny as hell. Phenomenal. Going for a 24-hour stream? Nah. This was an extra thing today. It's quite fun. Yeah, but for the dude who came in, it's just another Brawlhalla clone. Like, nah, dude. This is Rivals 2. So they had Rivals of either before. Super well loved by the community, and they're bringing out Rivals 2 now. And so we've got Dan on, who, the big-time Dev Arena. And then I'm here, so I'm Director of Strategy for Off-Brand Games. As my second job, outside of all the other jobs that I have.
Yeah.
My mini jobs. And then, we're actually co-publishing the game, and it's looking beast, dude. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, this tournament's been going really well. I like how the build's been looking. There you go.
I have so many side quests, it's ridiculous, dude. I'm at 100% life, let me tell you.
I will say to the guy who mentioned Brawlhalla, one of my favorite memes in the community is whenever we post about Rivals 2 on TikTok, somebody asks if the frog is the frog from Brawlhalla, because we did a crossover where Rano has like a skin in Brawlhalla. So they have no idea what Rivals is, but they know that there's a frog in Brawlhalla. So like, Rano is now the frog from Brawlhalla. That's like the joke.
Oh, Loxodon win.
Ooh. Yes, the W. That's huge too, to come in from losers bracket and win the first game.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you start putting doubt in like in Kimmy's head of like,
yeah.
Do I just go to the second set, or am I gonna try to get 3 wins in this first one?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Oh, Knight, I'm glad you like it, man. Yeah, I stream every day, 12 hours a day, from midnight to noon. Yeah, Loxodon just wants to sit, dude. He's got his chair. He wants to sit down. All of this is just him trying to get back to the chair. Oh. Dude, 72% to 0. Damn.
This combo was sick.
Oh, this is sick.
It started off a parry on the recovery, which is honestly like, it's not crazy advanced, but it's like, you have to be playing the game a bit, like Rivals 2 specifically, to be going for those.
Oh my god, dude. Kumi has been activated. Like, what has happened here?
We're seeing some good, like, early high-level play here.
The first real hit is a trunk slap 3 times in a row, dude.
I love it. Just hit A! Just hit A! Like the breaking bad meme. Just hit
trunked, A! Dude, get trunked. It's so funny. Funniest shit on the planet.
You can't hear us.
Oh my god. What's great is now you and Ludwig. Let's see. You and Ludwig are the main people representing the game. It's going to be Is the Frog in Brawlhalla from Rivals 2. It's always funny to me because a lot of people will try to do that with games. Like, I remember when we launched Champions of Breakfast, right? It's an arcade game. And the most common feedback we got was, why did you take the combat system from Undertale and make a game out of it? And I was like, You've never heard of a bullet hell in your life, have you? Like, so many people, like, so many younger people had never played a bullet hell before Undertale, so they didn't know they existed.
That's actually amazing.
Oh, the turnaround on that. Oh, that was brutal, dude. That was a brutal death. Insane death.
Kumi really wanted to, like, close it out and then got reversed. Just getting a little too greedy.
Way too greedy, yeah. Well, Kumi's in a good spot to bring it around here. 137% is nothing to laugh at. Trunked. The trunketing, dude. I can't get over that. It's always so funny. I think the reason why is it's a break in the action for a moment. So the hit is just, it's so disrespect and comical in some way.
Yeah.
Oh! Intrunduction. Why you like this? Oh no! Oh. 1 to 1, 0%, man. Oh. Oh. Didn't grab the ledge. Didn't grab the ledge on that.
That's nuts. To go down 2-0 when you were up the entire game.
Oh.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, ledge block, dude.
I will say it's funny though that Trevor, his one game, he got like hedgehogged a couple times because when we were first starting, like we had a bunch of different ways that we were exploring, and every Smash game does have different solutions. So like in Ultimate, there's like ledge trumping, and then in like Melee and like PM, there's like the ledge hog similar to what Rivals 2 has. So like Trevor's a big fan of like ledge hogging as like one of the mechanics that adds depth to the ledge. So anytime he gets ledge hogged, I smile.
I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing with Nardwar on every match is if you get off screen, if you get off like map, he's gonna kill you. You know?
Yeah.
That Loxodon is just so good at guarding that edge.
And the big thing is he's mixing it up, right? Because like Loxodon has good options, but if you're just always standing there down tilting or you're always just trying to jump down air, like if you're just doing the same thing, it's
people
not
can adapt. Yeah.
Yeah, but Narvar has been like really good at like he'll go to the wall, he'll use his little like the dash, the trunk dash.
Oof, nice. That was a nice kill by Kumi there.
That was clean.
See that dodge? Love that. Just the.
They both did a couple there, yeah. That is really funny.
Oh.
This maple is cooked. Oh, and then.
Nardwar has changed up their tactics here. You see that? Totally different playstyle suddenly.
I would say Kumi cooked a little too hard on that combo.
A little bit.
Just burnt it slightly, but it
Just a little bit burnt.
it was hot.
Oh. Getting some pulls. Nice. Kumi's still in it.
Yeah,
1-2 now.
That was a sick game. That game was less than 2 minutes.
You could see them, they're like heating up now. You could see them like starting to really get into it, get real aggressive.
Yeah, they're both their combo games are just
They're getting really good. I like that the maps actually show like how far the distance is on kills there. So down is 20 meters, left is 40 meters, like left and right is 40 meters. That's good. I really like that.
Yeah, and like I said, you were talking about how do you know like which stage to go for. You can kind of use that information where it's like certain characters do, you know, much better KOing off the top or the side. And sometimes it depends on the matchup, right? Like I think, for example, Maple, when you're playing against Raster, because he's light, you're KOing off the top all the time, so you probably want
yeah.
with a pretty close ceiling, so you can do it even earlier.
Ooh, ooh, that long axe, dude. Such a long distance attack.
Oh, goes for the tether at a good time. So that tether recovery is interesting because you go to the player. So if you're gonna go for it, you kind of need to. You want them to be doing something. If they're just standing there waiting for you, then they're gonna like charge a strong attack for you to arrive.
The characters have backstories? Yeah, everybody's got like lore and information about those characters, but you guys haven't released a lot of that stuff yet, or have you? In Rivals 2?
It depends. So like Rivals 2, yeah, we do want to continue the story and we do want to add additional backstory, but like some characters have a lot, like Clarin and Loxodon honestly have like a pretty cool backstory where Clarin goes back in time to defeat Loxodon. Like that's her main lore, so that's her kind of rival antagonist. But it's varied. I would say like right now the Fire definitely have the most story from Rivals 1 and are kind of the protagonists of that plotline. But we want to add for every character, right? So like over time there'll be, whether that's like, you know, through external means like comic books and stories, or it's in-game, give each character a chance to have like a bit more story behind it.
Oh. I love how every single time Nardwar is actually using the shield on that bite too.
Yeah. They're not slowing down at all.
No, not even.
So the other thing, so it depends on what Maple's doing, but the other big thing you can do with Lily is if she just leaves it out and doesn't fight near it, you can actually run up and parry it, and that's a little better than shield because you get invincibility frames for it.
Oh, here we go. That knockback into Lily like that was so good too. The double hit for that?
Yeah.
Oh. This is anyone's game right here. If Kumi doesn't win this, that means Nardwar gets first place in the tournament.
Well, no, this would be a reset because Nardwar's coming from losers.
Oh, would it be?
Yeah. So then they would go back to a best of 5, but now then whoever wins that wins.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, wins the tournament. So Nardwar's playing for a reset, and Kumi's playing to just end it. So Kumi would love to go to Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see the trunk? The trunks on that grab.
Ooh.
Gosh, that was such a crazy tether.
Oh my god, dude. Oh wow. Wow. Holy moly, dude.
So that's the reset. So that means whoever wins this, best of 5,
now it's a reset.
is the champion. I love it's called the Dev Ticket Tournament, and we have 2 backers. So I guess the ticket part of the Dev Ticket Tournament is holding true in Grand Finals. The two people with tickets are playing for first place.
So if you're gonna play from the same lobby, it's 1 to 3, but that's 0 to 0. It's a best of 5.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
So Kumi will win if he gets up to 4 wins, and Nardwar will win if he gets up to 6.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because Kumi, every game did feel very winnable for Kumi. Like,
oh yeah,
even had a lead on last stock a couple times, but like, Nardwar just got that clutch.
Nardwar's just really clean, dude. Like, really, really good with Loxodon and guarding the edge really, really well. Like the moment that any player that we've seen fight up against him, the moment you're off the map, you're pretty much dead. It's so rare that you see someone get up correctly off the map without taking some massive amount of damage or get knocked back down. Irish John, thank you for the rating party of 63, dude. How you doing? checking out Rivals too.
All right, this first game again, just like Nardwar won game 1 on the the first game. Like this game 1 is gonna be a huge momentum swing.
The trunketing, dude. It's just so rough to watch.
Yeah, don't get grabbed.
Death Note guy from Open Sauce here? Oh, nice.
Or hit A. I don't think I've seen Nardwar once do special pummel. Which, like, on a lot of characters you can be scared of. On Loxodon, it is still a good pummel, the special one, the B button. But, like, he's pretty much always doing the trunk, so, like, if Kumi just hits A right when he gets grabbed, then you break that.
Oh! Yeah, the guy Jockins in chat, when we were at Open Sauce, had me sign... You had me sign your tattoo, right? It's like a page, and then afterwards I was like, wait a minute. Is that a Death Note? He just runs away, dude. It's like a page on his arm. It's so grim.
That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, a tattoo where you get people to sign it.
Yep. And it's over, dude.
That's a cool idea. So you're like, wait a second, what did I just... Yeah.
It's the opposite of Death Note? Oh, so I'm immortal now. That's also bad. Neither of those things are good.
No, it's like being John Malkovich. You wake up tomorrow and you're in his body.
Oh god, no. That's even weirder.
Yeah.
Malkovich. That movie was so weird. Being John Malkovich is such a weird movie.
I liked it. It was a good one.
I loved it. I love weird movies like that. They're always absolutely my jam. Oh. That was
another
so
one
sad.
I thought an impressionable age. Oh no, that was just a bit of a flub on the recovery.
Yeah.
The meatball missed, so I think Kumi was expecting to get hit and wasn't really ready to wall jump.
Yeah. Wild, dude. What's the first place prize? Is there a prize? Or is it just bragging rights?
I don't think we've been doing prizes for the Dev Ticket tournament because for a while it was devs, so we should have a prize for that. Plus Trevor kept winning, so it's like, well, we give Trevor anything for winning? Like,
I think the prize this time is that neither of the people playing right now in the final winners bracket are devs. So the community has ascended.
Yeah. The prize is that you're now better than the devs, and I will admit it on stream in front of 7,000 plus people that, yeah, you guys are better than the devs.
You've done it.
I got a prize when I won my only dev tournament win, and that's because I won the first one Maple was playable, and my prize was Maple got a ton of nerfs after I won the third.
Maple got a ton of nerfs?
Yeah. The first time she was playable, I was the only one who picked her up because it was like really early. She didn't even have like all the effects or anything, and I played her in the dev bracket, and I beat both Trevor and SBS with her, and then immediately they just nerfed like all of her moves because. To be fair, they were insane.
They couldn't allow that. That move, that animation was so freaking clean. That backflip. I don't think I've seen that on Maple.
It might have been, I was probably her forward air, but yeah, if you hit it, depending on how you hit it.
That was so rough to watch, dude.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude. That was bad.
It's funny sniping with a giant meatball.
Dude, not just sniping with a meatball, but the double snipe. Like, oh. It's just grim. So tell me about this armor that he's covered in right now, because he's covered in this, like, fire ooze.
Yeah, that's his molten charges. So, like, the main use of that is, like, you get a big explosion on down B when you have 3, because you can have 1 to 3, so it rises up to his feet, and right now he has all 3.
Yeah.
But there's a second use to it, which is your strong attacks. If Loxodon charges them when he has these charges, then he puts out like lingering lava hitboxes, which I think is actually really fun because so that was the explosion, so that used all 3 and he went really far. And if that hits, it combos.
And you can knock it off of him too. It looks like there.
Well, no, that was him like exploding it off himself because if it hits, you both go flying and he can like finish the combo.
Oh, I see.
It's kind of a cool little like launch ability. But the strong attacks are cool because like as a beginner friendly character, it's really nice to just be able to make a move last for a long time. So like that's what you can do is you can like charge these strong attacks and get these lava explosions.
Oh man.
Oh, I saw the vision. The vision was there.
Yep.
And then he hits the next one anyway with just the tusk.
I love the models in the background when it's down to one stock in this. So for those of you guys who are new to this and watching this, when both players are down to one stock, the environment changes on these maps, and this one gets the Hydra heads coming up. Big old plants. Oh, damn. Yeah. That last kill was so clean.
Oh my gosh.
One more win for Nardwuar and then it's over. Damn, dude. Kumi's got to get 3 in a row.
Yeah, this has been a pretty one-sided grands. When Kumi was playing so good leading up to like the whole tournament, you know, still playing well, but obviously showing like just kind of the ceiling of how good these players are already.
The double trunk slap disrespect in the beginning, Jesus. Maple's so light, yeah, but Maple's fast and has so much movement. So like, when a character has that wrap around them, Maple can actually latch to them and like launch themselves. Oh. Whoa. That was a really good fight off screen like that, or off platform. Like, damn, dude.
Yeah, those wall techs saving.
Nice. Nice back. That dodge from Loxodon is just so funny to watch.
Yeah, little spot dash.
Yeah.
It is funny sometimes when we first put attacks in the game, because Rivals 1, it's like, the way we made it, it's like pixel art and we have limited frames and like the game's really fast. Like a lot of the frame data is like, you know, significantly faster than Smash. So sometimes we try out an attack and we put it in, you know, Rivals 2 and it's like, oh my god, we can't do this motion in like 8 frames. Like there's no way. So we have to like, either decide, oh, is this attack going to be different, or are we going to like have to change the animation from what the first game was?
Oh, definitely. Ooh. Oh. Every once in a while, you just get a big combo from Loxodon, and it's just like 40%. You know, like just a beast of a combo. This is it. Kumi's chance.
Here we go.
Well, there was a good chance of that. Oh, man.
No, it's so
oh, it's so brutal. Oh, no. Not even 1%. Oh, it's so awful, dude. It's just rough. Oh.
But yeah, I said I really like this matchup when I'm Maple against Loxo, but one of the downsides of Maple is she's really light, like your chat was mentioning, but she's also a really good weight to get comboed. So she loses on both sides, right? Like she gets comboed into the final hit and then dies really early into, you know, something like that, a strong hit like that back there.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, it can be rough when you're on the losing side, but she's so fast that if you can keep your aggression up, it's just really fun to play against Loxo.
She definitely feels like a really hyper aggressive character, for sure. Like you need to just go, which is awesome. Not my playstyle at all, but awesome to watch.
Yeah, I like this playstyle if I can do it, but it's fun.
Yeah, I really like characters that have counters and setup characters. Those are the things that I like the most. Which is why I ended up liking Clarin.
Nice.
Makes it a lot more fun. Ooh.
Yeah, right there we saw the Lily at ledge too. Is a really
oh yeah.
A safe plant.
Oh, and that's that. Kumi's back on the board. Now it's 1-2.
Yeah, here we go. So Kumi's the reverse sweep.
Yeah, Kumi's got to get 2 wins in a row. Nardwuar needs 1 to win it. You loving Maple? Yeah, no, Maple's freaking rad, dude. Just so fast. Such a fast character.
Oh, somebody just asked for a chef skin for Loxodon where he flings meatballs.
Dude, yes.
Well, I got news for you. Google Chef Loxodon, and you should see on April Fool's this year, we've revealed a trailer.
What is it?
And it's on
is
YouTube.
It real?
It's a real skin, and it's an amazing trailer. I'll give you like the link. But yeah, there will be a Chef Lockstep skin.
Oh god, there is. I'm linking it to chat now. The devs were cooking. And it's a spicy meatball chip.
Our stream, by the way, for this, so we always do like Rivals Directs, and it's like a big April Fool's thing, and we told people like, hey, we're not doing one this year, we gotta focus on development and, you know, do stuff closer to launch. So we told everyone nothing was happening, but then we made our stream go live April 1st without saying anything, and we just had George cooking meatballs on stream for like 4 hours, and he was just like moving Rivals plushies around in the background, and then at the very end, we revealed the skin.
That's so funny, dude.
That was our April Fool's Day.
I love that his like lava across the ground is like tomato sauce and meatballs and spaghetti. That's so funny, dude.
And then even his effects, he has like leaves like that come out, basil. So it's like it's just a fun skin.
I dig this, dude. The meatball is so strong. He just oh. That was dirty.
At that point, Kumi was like, you know, off stage and kind of waiting for your option. I think you just gotta go for the sweet spot on ledge over anything else.
Yeah, you do. Nardwar's just too good at guarding the ledge. You can't let him have it.
Yeah, because trying to get back on stage, like, you basically have to, that's a lot of frames to pass through lockdown.
Yep. Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so close.
Yeah, that was a big...
Nice! Not nice enough. Oh man.
The meatball pressure.
The meatball pressure's insane. Oh god, the meatball. Oh! Nice break out of the grab. Oh no.
Yeah.
You see that? That tether was so good.
That was really well placed. The break was good too, because that was the trunk slap.
He's got a whole stock to get through too. At 112%. Ooh, that was not a good one to get hit by. Oh man. Nice. 1-1, but it's 136% to 0, man. This is rough. And this one's gonna be for all the marbles if Nardwar wins it. Oh, that is it.
There we go.
That is it. Locks it on sweep, dude.
Nardwar with the losers run into the reset, into the win. Let's go. Congrats.
Yeah, no, that's wild. No breaks either. Absolutely outrageous. Big chair plays. It's true. It's true.
That was sick.
Sick matches, dude. Is that all the matches?
Yeah, that's
Nice.
Everything. So, yeah,
Well,
again, thanks so much for
yeah.
hosting this dev ticket tournament. Like we said, we run once a month. It started just as devs, but now we had some off-brand people enter it. We have people from the Kickstarter, so that's why it's called the dev ticket tournament now. So both these competitors, both Kumi and Nardwal, came from backing the game and buying into access to this tournament, and they are putting the devs to shame with they're just so good now.
Hell yeah, man. And is there anything else you want to tell chat? The floor is yours.
No, so yeah, if you like this game and you're still interested in it, we are doing a beta weekend next weekend on Steam. So if you want to get into that, we still have late backing. If you go to, I believe it is rivals2.com/pledge. I'll send a link to.
I think Brian's already got it.
Nice. Yeah, if you go there, that you can still get in and access next week's beta. So basically, anyone who gets what's called the Ethereum Hero tier, you get early access. You get skins. You get these retro skins that you're only going to get for the launch characters if you're in the beta. And then if you like the game, just definitely give it a wish list on Steam because it's coming out later this year. And yeah, we're launching on Steam first. Hopefully, come into more stuff later. But we're definitely going to build it around Steam, kind of build it around this core competitive audience is our goal, and then expand it out to more people who are kind of interested in the game and yeah, more features from there.
Yeah. So Krusik has said, I prefer watching rather than playing. Are there any events coming up soon that I can watch?
That's a great question. We do Rivals 2 has been featured in a lot over time. Like we were just at Combo Breaker, and we had an event at Gommel. I believe there's a CEO is coming up, but I think it's just a side one. I would say follow both Ether Studios and Rivals of Ether on Twitter, especially Rivals of Ether. We tend to tweet out anytime there's like a tournament stream you can watch. We tend to tweet it out on Rivals of Ether Twitter, and you can tune in from there.
Yeah, hell yeah. Rock on, dude. People keep asking about, is there a Steam Deck certification planned? I think we talked about this a little bit later or earlier, but
Yeah, I've been testing on Steam Deck. I don't think I've actually gone through. So Steam has like a thing on their portal where you can like go in and submit and they'll
it's
test. I think
super
they
easy. It's
Yeah,
really
I think
simple.
they want it for like closer to final build. So I don't think I've done it for Rivals 2 yet. Rivals 1 is Steam Deck certified. I've been testing it though, and it's running pretty well. I would say anything above 2 players online is not running at 60, which is something we're working towards with optimization. We actually just tweeted that we're looking to hire someone for that. Um, but 1v1 and local on Steam Deck was running really good in my testing. So we're hopeful that it'll be a pretty good experience at launch on Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, no, and Valve is really good about Steam Deck too, because like I've been through the process for that for Heartbound, and we even found an engine, or it was actually an OS bug with Steam OS, and they fixed it in like I think it was 48-hour turnaround for an actual OS bug, and they fixed it all, which is wild. So like Steam is really
That's
up
big.
on it when you're trying to get approved. Yeah, it's great, dude. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, I've
Well,
had a great
guys,
experience with them.
I have been streaming now for yes, number of hours. Yes. It's been a lot. It's been a lot today, but I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. And is there Rivals 1? Yes. Yes, there is. Rivals of Either, too. And if you want to play the game, if you want to wish list it, we've got it here. And to let you guys all know, I am the director of strategy for Off-Brand Games. We're co-publishing the game, co-publishing Rivals 2. And this is Dan, the main developer, the lead developer for the whole game. So actually, what is your official title now?
I don't know anymore. Whenever I've been signing things, I put CEO because I am, but I think project lead developer, something, lead something.
Lead. Yeah, no, I feel that. I have my actual official title at Pirate Software is Captain. But LinkedIn won't let you put Captain, so they put Captain with parentheses that says nautical, and I can't get rid of it. So it's just like it's really funny.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I'm technically the CEO, but it's Captain, which is quite hilarious. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna raid Iron Mouse today. Iron Mouse is a good buddy of mine. She's super awesome, and I hope you guys have a good time today. And I will see you guys all later. And thank you for being on, Dan. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks for having us.
And I should be back on tomorrow because it's not past my bedtime yet. So I'm going to go home and then I'm going to sleep. And then I'm going to get up and do it again. You never noticed me? I just did. Get out. Get out. Get out.